The design team includes Michael W. Pettis, Dan Richardson, Caitlin Scallon, Joel Lee, and Tyler Cody. This year we introduce our Candy Show, a show meant to entertain the audience and educate our members on the basics of marching and fading. We will present 3 tunes this evening. Drum Majors, is the band ready? Please enjoy our school sweat song, affectionately known as Wash Green. The marching band will be kept busy this fall with performances at Neshaminy football games, as well as participating in a full schedule of marching band competitions. As well, we join the U.S. band circuit throughout the fall season. We will host our own 32nd annual Kaleidoscope of Band show on Saturday, October 18th. As we continue our show, please join us in singing as we perform our school's alma mater. Lastly, we'd like to recognize our student leadership team. Section leaders are Madison Streeter, Jenna Smith, Randy Jones, Andrew Perolo, Elias Miles, Zamira Coppola-Miller, Jack Kidd, Gabriel Lebowski, Abby Culver, Nathaniel Jazep, Abby Clark, Mariah Coppola-Miller, and Kara McMullen. The drum majors are Molly Richard, Vic Chen, and Natalie De La Smith. The marching band officers are Jenna Smith, Zamira Coppola-Miller, Madison Streeter, Randy Jones, Corinne Passman, Aubrey Hardwick, and Amelia Pring. Now, for our last piece, sit back or stand up and enjoy a song made famous by Katy Perry. We give you Firework. open up for the Neshaminy High School Marching Band. In our competitive season, we will take to the field a different show made up of solid, liquid, and gas. We explore the states of matter and how they relate to the human condition. We hope to see you at one of our competitions or at our home show. Have a great rest of your night.
Former Philly Tommy Green, and here's the pitch. It's time to fill up your pool. BCWSA offers easy and cost-effective bulk water delivery throughout Bucks County for $180. They will deliver 5,500 gallons of clean water right to your pool. It's a faster way to fill your pool, and you won't have the increased sewer bill by filling it yourself. And if you're on well water, you won't need to worry about the well drying up. Call BCWSA today at 800-222-2068, extension 113, and schedule a water delivery or visit bcwsa.net.
When it comes to plumbing, there's only one trusted name for your home or business. That's Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown. Whether it's drains, water heaters, faucets, or sewers, Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown can solve all of your plumbing problems. Time-tested and punctual since 1984. It's Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown. Call them at 215-943-1776. That's 215-943-1776 for Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown, a proud supporter of high school athletics in Bucks County.
This is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. Every champion needs a good game plan. BCWSA and I want to make sure you have a game plan when it comes to conserving our most precious resource, water. Whether you're washing dishes, brushing your teeth, or watering your garden, there are ways you can save water and save money. Visit bcwsa.net for tips on conserving water. BCWSA, proven.
Bucks County, this is home. It's where I was raised, where I learned right from wrong, where I'm raising my family, and where I've spent my life fighting for justice. I've taken on the toughest fights against murderers, traffickers, and child predators who believed they could prey upon the innocent and walk free. I've proven them wrong. I have stood toe-to-toe with the worst among us, delivered justice, and made our communities safer. Because in Bucks County, law and order are not up for debate. And as your district attorney, I will never stop fighting to protect our families and uphold justice. Justice isn't just my job, it's a solemn promise. A promise that every family can sleep safely at night, that no victim will ever be forgotten, and that in Bucks County, crime has consequences. Under my watch, the law is not a suggestion, it's an unbreakable pact. Justice will be swift, it'll be certain, and it'll be served. I'm Jennifer Shorn, and I will never stop fighting for Bucks County. Our families, our safety, our home.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Fred Herron. As your Bucks County Sheriff, it's my job to uphold the law and keep our community safe. That's what I've done every day for nearly 40 years in law enforcement. From the streets of Bensalem to the county courthouse, my focus has been on making our families feel secure in their homes, neighborhoods, and our schools. Safety requires proven leadership because in this office, experience is everything. This November, vote for our team so we can continue providing dependable leadership for our community. I'm your Sheriff, Fred Herron, and I approve this message.
Proceeding paid for by Herron for Sheriff.
It's time now for the best high school sports action from the WBCB Sports Network. Catch the best games from Bucks and Mercer County at WBCBsports.com and our Facebook page. Your home for high school sports is right here at WBCB 1490.
From Harry E. Frank Stadium in Langhorne, Pennsylvania, we welcome you to Suburban One League Interdivision Football here on WBCB. Hello and welcome, everybody. Alongside my broadcast partner, Nick Gallagher, I'm Jordan Hirsch here at Heartbreak Ridge for the first time all season as the Neshaminy Skins look to improve to 3-0 when they take on the Cheltenham Panthers, who are still in search of their first victory here in 2025. For Neshaminy, it's the first time their home fans get an opportunity to see this team, and you could tell the anticipation through the roof. The Skins enter this game fresh off a 41-0 trouncing of Council Rock North last week and have yet to allow a single point in their first 96 minutes of action this year. And Nick, after playing near flawless football the first 2 weeks of the season, what do you expect to see out of the Skins in their first action here at Heartbreak Ridge?
Well, obviously, Jordan, the first couple minutes of the game coming back home for the first time here in 2025, you expect a lot of the same thing. The offense has been really clicking so far. And a great little stat for you tonight that I found out in this week preparing for this game, Michael Eckert had 78% completion percentage last week, going 11-for-14, 233 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Last season, his highest completion percentage was against North Penn, who Neshaminy plays next week at 71%. And this year, it was 72% against Emmaus in week 1. He's at 76% already for the season. So Michael Eckert completing his passes to his receivers, keeping that efficiency going, is really keeping this Neshaminy offense top tip in the area.
And for Neshaminy to continue this trend of early season success, they're going to have to contend with a Cheltenham team that certainly poses a heavy offensive threat. They're led by their junior quarterback, Kendall Jackson, who last year set the Panther program record for passing yards in a single season with 2,119. He's got quite the wide receiver duo to throw to as well in Isaiah Upchurch and Carson Gideons, both ranked in the top 5 on Suburban One Insider's list of best returning receivers. This feels like a game where the Skins secondary is really going to have to step up.
Yeah, they really are. They're really going to be tested back there today between the Sassano brothers, Brock Williams and Michael Eckert, rotating in and out of that secondary back for the Skins tonight. They're going to be tested early. They won this game last year on this field 21-14. Brock Williams led with 76 yards and a touchdown for the Skins, but the Skins really had a big problem with penalties in that game, 14 penalties last year, so they got to limit the penalties, play smart back there, and you don't want defensive pass interference giving Cheltenham free yards on their plays tonight.
Well, if you watched our coaches roundtable discussion earlier in the week, you'll know Neshaminy is looking to stack each day as they try to build something special here in 2025. Can they stack another W into the win column tonight, or will it be the Panthers roaring to their first victory of the season? Find out right after this kickoff between Cheltenham and Neshaminy, coming your way next on WBCB.
Are you living with relentless pain? St. Mary has a new way to help. Knee and hip replacements with a smarter process for faster recovery, earning prestigious awards for quality and value. A rapid recovery program has you walking just hours after surgery, and breakthrough advances such as custom-fit joints position you for a longer pain-free life. 215-710-5888. St. Mary Orthopedics. It's your health. Expect more.
McCaffrey's Express makes grocery shopping easy. McCaffrey's now offers online shopping, curbside pickup, or delivery. You get the same in-store prices and no third-party markup. Products are chosen by McCaffrey's own trained staff. Text messages are even accepted for order changes. Shop your way at McCaffrey's Food Markets, online or the app, and earn awards and use digital coupons. McCaffrey's Food Markets in the Edgewood Village Shopping Center, 635 Heacock Road, Yardley. Also in Newtown, New Hope, Doylestown, Princeton, and West Windsor.
1490 WBCB Levittown and Trenton, and video stream live at WBCBsports.com. Your home for the best local sports in Bucks and Mercer counties. Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere is open 7 days for lunch and dinner. Private room available for special affairs, plus catering. For reservations, call 609-882-6365. That's 609-882-6365. Come home to traditional Italian cuisine. The Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road, Ewing Township.
Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs.
Sandy's Beef and Ale has been serving famous hand-carved roast beef sandwiches since 1967. Sandy's Beef and Ale is located in the Woodburn Square Shopping Center next to the Oxford Valley Mall. Stop in anytime for not only the roast beef sandwiches, but also the patty, the tailgater, and the Cuban. Family and friends have been coming to Sandy's Beef and Ale since 1967. 2028 Old Lincoln Highway, the home of the hand-carved sandwich.
Hey BCWSA customers, this is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League Champion Phillies. My friends at BCWSA are committed to providing us with safe, reliable water and sewer services. They operate state-of-the-art treatment facilities, provide clean drinking water, and make much-needed investments to protect our environment and ensure a sustainable future. Learn how BCWSA's investments help grow and serve our communities. Visit bcwsa.net. BCWSA, prove it.
Rob's Automotive and Collision Center in Lower Bucks County is a full-service repair center with competitive prices, top-of-the-line products, and the finest auto body and mechanical repair technicians anywhere. Rob's makes repairing your car easy. Same-day service guaranteed. Whether it's an oil change, state inspection, or a mechanical issue, Rob's will have you in and out and on your way. 2700 Veterans Highway in Bristol, 215-826-9200 for 24-hour emergency towing. Call 215-826-0250.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team
Today's game on WBCB is being brought to you by the St. Mary Medical Center, McCaffrey's Supermarket, the Revere Restaurant, Jennifer Shorn for DA, Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown, Rob's Automotive and Collision, BCWSA, Fred Herron for Sheriff, Sandy's Beef and Ale, Team Toyota, the Trentonian, PIAA District 1, the N Club, and the Irish Rover Station House. Cheltenham, they won the toss. They elected to defer, so it will be Michael Eckert and the Neshaminy Skins offense to start us off in our first game from Heartbreak Ridge here in 2025. Neshaminy, they only play 4 games here at home this season, but they're all in the next 5 weeks, and it starts tonight. They look to improve to 3-0 in the Nick Felis era. Nick Felis, by the way, the first Neshaminy head coach to win his first 2 games at the helm since John Chomp did it way back in 1987. It is worth noting Neshaminy started 5-0 that season, finishing 9-2. Andrew St. John, the senior kicker, ready to boot it deep for Cheltenham. Back deep to receive for Neshaminy. Brock Williams, Mike Sassano. It's a short kick. Fielded by Sassano inside the 20. He surveys. He's across the 30, and he's brought down by Jalen Hill just shy of the 35-yard line.
Nick Sassano on the return.
So here comes Michael Eckert, fresh off of an 11-for-14 performance last week against Council Rock North. 233 yards, 4 touchdowns, 5 carries for 50 yards in that trouncing as well. Skins looking to start 3-0 in consecutive seasons for the first time since 2009 through 2011. Beginning from their own 35, Eckert with a give to Carter Klee over the right side, and he's spun down after a gain of 4. Carter Klee takes it to the 39.
Carter Klee, an efficient day at the office last week in that victory against Council Rock North. 17 carries, $130 on the ground, and a touchdown, picking up where he left off.
Skins moving quickly, 2nd down and 6. You'll see that shotgun look all night long for Nick Felis' squad. Williams the motion man, play action. Eckert scans, escapes, looking to throw, does on the run, and it's incomplete. Bit of hand fighting that time between his intended target, Bobby Lagler, and the man in coverage was the free safety, McKee Farrell. Farrell, he had a fumble recovery in Cheltenham's 17-14 loss last week against Central Bucks East. CB East, a very run-heavy team, facing a little bit of a different beast this week in terms of Neshaminy. 3rd and 6, they pitch it, it's Brock Williams, and he gets popped out across the 40, down to the 42. He's 3 yards short of the line to gain, and the Panthers defense stands tall on their first chance. They force the 3 and out.
A good play design there, getting Brock Williams a carry and trying to get him in some space there, but got, I guess, in between the tackles, just got knocked up there.
4th down and 4.
Kind of ran into a wall, and fortunately that he came out of there okay. Cheltenham, their defense, they're flying around here early. It's a good line drive kick that rolls into the direction of the return man, Andre Jones. He picks it up. He's got a lot of speed down the sideline. Jones across the 50 and then forced out of bounds around the 44. Shot out of a cannon that time, the junior Andre Jones. There is a flag down. And so while it appears Cheltenham's going to have good starting field position, we'll have to check the marker. Their offense is backing up. Cheltenham, they come into this game at 0-2. Lost their week 1 match against Wilson, 35-24. Quarterback Kendall Jackson in that game threw for 324 yards on just 12 completions, 4 touchdowns and an interception. Did throw 2 touchdown passes last week, but 3 picks. A quarterback that typically doesn't turn the ball over that much. Got bit by the turnover bug last week in that 17-14 loss.
Well, the O-line struggled in that Panthers loss last week to CB East, giving a couple high snaps to Jackson and allowed a lot of pressures too. And Neshamany's D-line is going to be in his face all night tonight. You got to expect that. It's got to be the game plan for them.
The flag is for an illegal block in the back. So instead of starting on the plus side of the 50, they're going to start back at their own 36-yard line. Kendall Jackson, the junior quarterback, just the 3rd QB in Cheltenham history to throw for over 2,000 yards in a season. On the first play from scrimmage, they hand it off. And taking it out to the 45-yard line is Andre Jones. 9-yard gain, 2nd down and short. Jackson, play action, throw to the outside. And that's a 1st down pickup. Ridden out of bounds goes Brian Palmer King. Palmer King, the junior wide receiver, he had both touchdown receptions last week. Cheltenham, in fact, had a chance to win that game. Palmer King made a catch in the end zone with 1 minute and 3 seconds to go to tie the game. However, Cheltenham then surrendered a pretty quick drive, which was aided by an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. CB East ended up kicking the game-winning field goal with 14 seconds left. 1st and 10 from the Neshaminy 49. Play action. There's Palmer King again. Makes a move, gets around one man, takes it up the middle. He's across the 30, carrying Skins to the 20-yard line. A 29-yard gain on the wide receiver screen. And now Brian Palmer King is slow to get up after the play.
And that does not look good for Cheltenham. He's very slow to get up. Grabbing his knee, I think.
Yeah, he's on the ground writhing in pain, going to try to get up, and it's good to see him now get up, and he's going to jog off under his own power. Well, Cheltenham, they're led by their first-year head coach, Terrence Tolbert, who's the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach last season for Cheltenham. Spent a year as the head coach at Abington, his alma mater, back in 2023. Didn't go too well for him, though. 1-9 that year, including a 38-22 loss at home against Neshaminy.
At Neshaminy's 20-yard line.
Haven't seen either of them used quite yet, but Cheltenham certainly has a very talented receiving duo in Isaiah Upchurch and Carson Gideons. Both ranked in the top 5 returning wide receivers in Suburban 1 League. On 1st and 10, another play action, another easy pass that time. It's caught by Isaiah Simpson. Don't typically see Isaiah Simpson on the offense all too often for Cheltenham.
Isaiah Simpson on the catch.
He carries that out to the 11-yard line, and it's another 9-yard gain.
Carson Schneider with the tackle.
Well, 5 or 6 plays into the Cheltenham offense, Jordan. It's been just quick plays, the 2 out routes on the side, and a nice dump off here. Keep Jackson quick throws.
Not necessarily the name of the game for Cheltenham. They like to extend the ball downfield with their receiving threat. This one's going to the end zone for Gideons, and it's too high.
Pass incomplete to Carson.
That was a problem for Kendall Jackson last week. He had plenty of opportunities to hit open receivers, especially in the red zone, and very often, Nick, he would just overshoot them.
And that's something you got to work on. You're in the red zone tonight against the Neshaminy team who hasn't allowed a touchdown or a point this season. They're threatening here early on.
8:36 to go, first quarter. Cheltenham looking to strike first. 3rd and 1. It's a handoff. Going around the edge is Eli Stamen, and he is very close to the end zone, and I think he's going to be marked just a bit short.
Eli Stamen pushed out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
It's been a revolving door at running back for Terrence Tolbert's squad. It looks like Stamen gets the start tonight. 1st down and goal from the 2. Give inside, it's Stamen, and he's bottled up. Cheltenham's offensive line really struggled last week against Central Bucks East, and they're going up against a real tall task tonight in this big physical defensive line for Neshaminy. Milo Makes was the one in on that tackle, although it was really a swarm of Skins. So after no gain on 1st down, it sets up 2nd and goal from the 2. Jackson, another handoff. This time it's Jamal Butler surging through close to the goal line, and again, the Skins defensive line keeps them out. First time we've called Jamal Butler's name tonight. Butler came into the season for Cheltenham expecting to be the #1 guy, although like I mentioned, it's really been a revolving door. This time Butler's going to come out for 3rd and goal from the 1. In comes Andre Jones. Skins defense looking for one more stop. Cheltenham looking to strike first. The ball comes out on the snap. Cheltenham falls on top of it. Not what you want to see if you're a Panther fan. That series started 1st and goal from the 2. And now they're right back where they started on 4th down now. And we'll see if the field goal unit comes out.
4th down and 2 for Cheltenham.
That's what it looks like. Here comes the field goal unit. What a stop by the Neshaminy defensive line.
And that's been their strength, Jordan, in the early part of this season. That is a huge stop. Panthers knocking on the door early, trying to get those first points against the Neshaminy defense. Defense stands tall, wins that battle.
This is an 18-yard chip shot for Andrew St. John. The kick's on the way, and it is good. So Cheltenham goes on top first. They're up 3-0, and Nick, that snaps the scoreless streak for the Neshaminy defense. It ends at just under 102 minutes this season.
Which is really impressive, and Neshaminy's got to be proud of that streak. But now that you've allowed points, you got that monkey off your back, and now you just kind of play football and just do what you're doing. That's what you've been so successful at the early part of this season.
Don't forget, if you missed any of today's action, you could read all about it in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. For your complete local and national news 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian, or online at Trentonian.com. The only newspaper serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County 7 days a week. It's the Trentonian. If you're Cheltenham, you're kind of torn on how that drive went, because it's a nice start. They were able to move the ball down the field, but you're trying to come in here to Heartbreak Ridge and pull an upset against a very talented Neshaminy team. Those are the drives that have to end in 7. The kick from St. John is away. It's in the direction of Brock Williams. He starts up from the 10, trying to flip fields. Williams around one man and out of bounds, past the 30 to the 33-yard line. Give him 23 yards on that return.
And Cheltenham this season hasn't been too successful in the running game. They've looked good early on in their first full possession, driving right down the field. But I was expecting something more creative, even at the 1-yard line, for Jackson to throw it there to get it in for 6. But they elected to run it, weren't successful at it.
The Neshaminy offense, if you remember from last week, started slow with the fumble by Carter Klee, and then all they did was put up 41 points. So there's lots of faith on that skin sideline. Here's Klee running to the outside, and he's going nowhere but backwards. Driven back by a trio of Panthers. Elijah Burnley, the big guy in there on that tackle. It's a loss of 2. So far in this early going, Nick, we're seeing Cheltenham win the trenches game.
And it's a very experienced D-line for Cheltenham, all seniors on that D-line for them.
On 2nd and 12, Eckert goes to the air, quick throw, and it's incomplete. Off the mitt of Bobby Lagler. The throw was a little bit wide there, Nick, but Lagler hadn't really turned around. It would have been a very difficult adjustment, and now 3rd down and 12. Lagler last week, 1 catch for 46 yards. He only has 2 catches on the season, but he's gone for 105 yards. He's really turned into one of the many big play threats on this Neshaminy offense. And before this 3rd and 12, we've got movement up front. Every official that's out there threw their flag, and it's a false start. And now Neshaminy backed up into 3rd and 17. Well, probably not the start that Nick Felix envisioned in his first game here at Heartbreak Ridge. 5:32 to play first quarter. Cheltenham on top 3-0, looking to force back-to-back 3-and-outs. Eckert has trouble, ball comes loose. And I believe Cheltenham has it, and they do. The Panthers defense with utter domination on the first 2 drives. Kyle Montgomery came out of the pile with it. The ball was still in the air, so it's either a fumble recovery or an interception. Either way, Panther football inside the Neshaminy 25. They're going to start this drive at the 23.
And Eckert didn't see that coming. He got stripped on his blind side there. He's trying to get rid of the ball, had a receiver open. And Panthers aggressive on the D-line, getting home and getting to Eckert early on in this one.
So now a short field, and Cheltenham has a chance to take advantage. Jackson, quick throw, wide open receiver. That's caught for a first down. Chaz Moore with the catch.
Chaz Moore on the first down reception.
Still haven't seen Upchurch or Gideons get involved. Gideons does have one target. But Chaz Moore and Brian Palmer King carrying the offensive load so far for the Panthers. Gideons lined up at the bottom of your screen on the outside. First and 10, Skins show pressure. Here they come. Handoff, it's Jones running opposite where the pressure was coming from. He takes it inside the 10, gashing his way down to the 6. That's a pickup of 6, and now second down and 4.
James Smith on the carry. Luke Powell on the tackle for Neshaminy. Second down and 4.
Second and 4, Jackson gonna roll. Eye set short of the end zone. There's Isaiah Simpson falling forward and crossing the goal line. There is a flag down. It's in the area of offensive holding.
There is a flag on the play.
And that's what the call is. Holding against Cheltenham takes those 6 points up off the board.
Holding goes against Cheltenham for a hold.
Well, so far, Nick, Cheltenham, they've had no problems getting it into the red zone. It's when they get down there where they're having problems.
Yeah, those self-inflicting wounds early in this one. They had a lot of them last week. We mentioned Jackson's 3 interceptions against CB East in their loss last week. And he's making good decisions so far. He's getting these short little out routes, and the receivers and running back are really doing a lot of the work for him early on.
So far, all the flags have gone against Cheltenham as well, and now we're going to get a whistle and a timeout. I mention that because Neshaminy, they've been the team to really struggle in the penalty department through the first 2 weeks. 12 penalties in their first game for 69 yards against Emmaus. And then last week against Council Rock North, 9 penalties, but they went for 83 yards. So in total, 21 penalties for the Skins for their first 2 games. And while both teams stand back in their huddles, I'd like to let you know that the N Club, supporting Neshaminy football since 1961, would like to take this opportunity to wish all players the best of luck and ask you to come out and support them. Also to support our concession stands and look for Neshaminy spiritware and program books at all of our home games. PIAA District 1 is looking for officials for all sports. If you're interested, visit PIAA.org for more information. Again, that's PIAA.org if you're interested in becoming an official. PIAA District 1 wishes all student athletes the best of luck on the field and in the classroom. So after the holding penalty, second down and 14 for Cheltenham. Already on top 3-0, 8 minutes into this first quarter. And we're going to have a false start. Movement before the snap on the offensive line. And now maybe for Cheltenham, that's a blessing in disguise because they're out of the red zone.
Maybe they just operate better with more green in front of them.
Backs them up into second down and 20 now from the Neshaminy 21-yard line. Just the second meeting between these two teams all time. Neshaminy got the better of the Panthers last season, 21-14 on the road. On second and 20, Jackson facing pressure, eludes one tackle, and then gets finally brought to the ground. Carson Schneider was the one to finally get him down. It goes for no gain, so no sack for Schneider. Good dance moves out of Kendall Jackson there in the backfield. And now third down and 20.
Big decision time for the Panthers here.
Let's see how aggressive Terrence Tolbert wants to play this.
Hey, that one sounded good. Good job.
Taking time off the play clock, it's down to 5. With the play clock at 2, Jackson facing pressure, throws to the outside. There's Isaiah Upchurch, makes a man miss, makes another cut move, and then gets stood up right around the line to gain. He's going to be a couple of yards short. These quick screen plays are proving to be the difference so far for Cheltenham. Neshaminy not necessarily doing a great job rallying to the football, as Nick Sassano was the one to force the stop. But now 4th down and 3. And the offense this time is going to stay out there.
4th down and 3.
It's an early game and a big decision for Terrence Tolbert here. See if it pays off.
Play action, Jackson to the end zone, it's caught for the touchdown. Isaiah Upchurch makes the decision pay off, and the Panthers go on top 9-0. Their receivers just continue to get open on the outside, and Jackson finds Upchurch for 6.
A good read there, another quick pass. Upchurch just getting in the outside corner of the end zone, made a break for it, beat his D-back and was open, and Jackson connected. Cheltenham extends the lead early on, up 9-0.
Stats weren't available for their game last week against CB East, but in their Week 1 game against Wilson, Isaiah Upchurch, 5 catches for 135 yards, as this kick is straight through for Andrew St. John. And now Neshaminy finds themselves trailing 10-0. Still in search of their first down. I'll let you know that great food, fine spirits, and good times are always on the menu at the Irish Rover Station House in Langhorne, opposite the SEPTA train station. The Irish Rover is your home for all Philly sports and happy hour every Monday through Friday, 4 to 7 p.m. The Irish Rover is known for their prime rib dinner specials every Wednesday night for just $19.95. Also, trivia night is every Wednesday starting at 7, Thursdays at the Irish Rover Station House. That's their wing nights, everybody. So 10-0, Cheltenham with a near-perfect start on the road. Looking to pull an upset against the Skins team that's in search of their second consecutive 3-0 start to a season. St. John sends it away. It's a line drive kick, juggled and caught by Williams. He starts up from the 12, and he gets tripped up after a gain of just 3. That was Isaiah Simpson wrapping up the legs of Williams and taking him down at the 15-yard line. And so now the worst starting field position of the night for a team that has gone 3 and out when they went 3 and out on their first possession and then had the fumble on their second one.
Well, a little adversity for the Neshaminy offense. First time all season. They're down double digits.
On 1st and 10, Eckert with pressure again, just throws it into the ground. Coming off the edge that time to get him. It looked like number 19, but there's no 19 on the roster. Jordan Elmine, I believe, but there is now a player down, and that is Isaiah Simpson. While they check on him, we'll step aside. 1:59 to play here in the opening quarter, 10-0, Cheltenham on top.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team Toyota makes a great choice for your next vehicle purchase or service. With our MVP pricing guarantee, teammate rewards program, and streamlined customer experience, our award-winning operation ensures that you can trust our process. A home team advantage is nothing without the community. Our employees are part of our family, part of your town, and we're all part of the team. We're always here for you at one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, and Glen Mills.
Simpson got up quickly, walked off under his own power. So now 2nd down and 10 for Neshaminy from their own 16-yard line. Eckert, quick throw. There's Williams. What can he do with his legs? Starts up, he's across the 20, and then he gets popped. James Smith delivering the blow. It goes for a pickup of 7 yards. They give him the 23. And so now 3rd down and manageable for Neshaminy.
James Smith on the tackle, 3rd down and 3.
3rd and 3. Skins still looking for their first down. Can they get it here? Eckert, pump fakes, fires, passes, caught by Klee. He extends the football, but he's going to be about a yard short.
Colton Klee with the catch before going out of bounds.
So Carter Klee with a 2-yard catch out to the 25, and Nick Felix is sending on the punting unit. So 2 3-and-outs and a fumble to begin the day offensively for Neshaminy.
That's a questionable decision by Nick Felix. It's only 4th and maybe about a yard or 2. And you got a lot of playmakers on that offense who could get you those few yards. I guess Neshaminy doesn't want to give it up early on.
Back deep to receive this punt from Tristan Rivera. Stands James Smith. It's a good punt, wobbly, bouncing at the 37, and then rolls out of bounds at the 36. That's the same starting field position for the Panthers as their first drive. And Nick, while we have a minute, I'd like to introduce our trivia question. For people that don't know, we have a new Instagram, WBCB_SN. You can deliver the answer to this trivia question into our DMs for a shout out. So Cheltenham, they've got some very notable alumni. 3 of their most famous. One of them is a baseball player with a very cool nickname. Another one we'll get to after this play. 1st down and 10 from the 36-yard line. Jackson hands this one off. Smith looking to get around the edge. James Smith across the 45. And then pushed back after a gain of about 11 as Dan McGarity was the one to force them down. Let's finish up that trivia question. So one of them, a very famous baseball player with a very cool nickname. Another one is the leader of a country, not the United States, but very well known. And then a famous rapper from the Philadelphia area. If you can get one of those 3 guys, send it to our DMs on our Instagram, WBCB_SN. While you're there, give us a follow as well for a chance to get shouted out on tonight's broadcast. Nick, I'll get your take on that a little later in the game when we reveal the answer.
All right, looking forward to that.
1st and 10 from the 49. Kendall Jackson with pressure from Schwartz, steps up, looking to get away and can't. He's going to go for a loss of 1. There to force them out, Rocco Gregory. Rocco Gregory, 4 total tackles last week against Council Rock North. And it sets up 2nd down and 10, so no gain on the play.
2nd down and 10.
15 seconds to play, 1st quarter. Could be the final play of the opening 12 minutes. Jackson looking left, has his man, and Brian Palmer King, and then he gets ridden down. Luke Howell there to wrap him up and throw him to the turf. And that's how this 1st quarter will come to a close. A 1st quarter that was dominated by the Cheltenham Panthers. They take a 10-0 lead, 12 minutes down, 36 to go. 2nd quarter of action after this on WBCB.
Rob's Automotive and Collision Center in Lower Bucks County is a full-service repair center with competitive prices, top-of-the-line products, and the finest auto body and mechanical repair technicians anywhere. Rob's makes repairing your car easy. Same-day service guaranteed. Whether it's an oil change, state inspection, or a mechanical issue, Rob's will have you in and out and on your way. 2700 Veterans Highway in Bristol, 215-826-9200 for 24-hour emergency towing. Call 215-826-0250.
Don't forget, if you missed any of today's action, you can read all about it in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. Your complete local and national news 7 days a week. It's the Trentonian or online at Trentonian.com. The only newspaper serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County 7 days a week. It's the Trentonian. 10-0 Cheltenham as we start this 2nd quarter. The It'll be 3rd down and 10 for the Panthers after Luke Howell, the junior, was in on the stop on that last play of the first. I'd like to mention Luke Howell, Corey Kenoy-Webb, and Brock Williams. They're all up for the top junior high school player in Bucks County. You can vote on that at phillyburbs.com now until 8 p.m. on Thursday. 3 Neshaminy Skins up for that award. A 3rd down and long, back from their own 43-yard line. Skins looking to get off the field for the first time and not allow any points. Jackson fires far side. That one's hauled in by Carson Gideons. Makes the circular move. Eludes Mike Sassano and has the first down. Just too soft of coverage that time, Nick.
Yeah, Gideons was wide open. Only a second catch. We were wondering where he was tonight so far. A big play, a big first down for the Panthers there.
Well, one of the keys for Neshaminy in this game on defense, you talked about it in our open, containing these very prolific wide receivers, and so far we're seeing what happens when Cheltenham gets their passing game going. 1st and 10 from the Neshaminy 39. Jackson steps up and goes down. Corey Kenoy-Webb in on that sack along with Mark Ilkovich. They drop Jackson for a loss of 5, and it's 2nd and 15.
One of the keys to the game coming into tonight for Jackson was he tries to make a lot of things happen, sometimes too much. He doesn't take the sack always. Good decision there to kind of just go down with it, not force a pass into coverage.
Especially the way that the passing game's been going. They seem pretty comfortable from behind the sticks. On 2nd and 15, this time the give goes to James Smith. He twirls his way up the middle and then gets pushed back right around the original line of scrimmage. Maybe a yard after that. That's a gain of 6 for Smith. It brings up 3rd and 9 from the 38.
Well, a team that doesn't really run the ball a lot in their games, they're running on Neshaminy pretty well, so I don't know if it's something they saw on film the first 2 weeks that the other Emmaus and Council Rock North weren't doing effectively and efficiently. Well, they're doing it well so far, the Panthers are, against this tough Neshaminy front 7. It really doesn't give up too many yards on the ground.
Skins defense in desperate need of a stop. They've been out there almost the whole game. 3rd and 9. Here comes a blitz. Throw to the outside. Palmer King makes the catch, looking to race his way for the first down, and he does. It's like death by 1,000 paper cuts right now for the Neshaminy defense. These short throws are turning into some big gains.
And every time the Panthers offense needs something, Jordan, they've been going to those short throws. They've been working. Why not? Keep going. They've used both sides of the field. There's been really one pass deep across the middle. Jackson just using his short throws, and the receivers are making the plays happen.
So now 1st and 10 from the Neshaminy 26. Jackson, play action, slinging it over the middle, incomplete. Asaya Upchurch had separation and had 6 points in his back pocket, but the throw led him a little too far. That's now the 2nd time in this game we've seen Jackson lead his receiver too far on what would have been an easy touchdown pass.
And it was a good decision, good choice there, just a little too much on that one. Upchurch has speed too, just couldn't catch up with that one.
2nd and 10, flag blows the play dead, and Cheltenham's going to be trotting on back 5 yards after a false start.
False start against Cheltenham as a 5-yard penalty. 2nd down and 15.
The one knock on Jackson that we were told coming into this game, that he's got a tendency to try to make things happen when he should just go down or throw it out of bounds. I'd say so far so good with his decision making. It's just throws have been a little too far sometimes. Like to shout out Zach Feinberg, Cheltenham play-by-play broadcaster, for providing us with some information tonight. 2nd and 15. Jackson rolling, in trouble, now gonna look to go to the other side. A flag flies in the backfield as he's shoved out of bounds by Mike Sassano. And they're gonna say that shove comes a bit late, and now we've got a whole bunch of laundry out on the field.
There are flags on the field.
All right, Nick, take your guess. We going holding plus a late hit?
Yeah, I would put money on that one. Just where the first flag came from, near the O-lineman of the Panthers, and I saw the flag come out near the sideline for the late hit. Then a little scuffle happened, so I don't know if it could be even offsetting penalties out of bounds.
So the first penalty is a holding. Then a personal foul, late hit. We've got a third one, a personal foul going up against Cheltenham. So those two personal fouls will cancel each other out, and it's going to end up being a 10-yard loss for the Panthers. All the way back to the 41-yard line. They're in second down and 24.
10-yard penalty on the play.
Give credit to the officiating crew, sorting that one out very quickly. Oftentimes you'll see them huddle up and it'll take them what feels like an eternity.
I was spot on that prediction of the offsetting penalties.
Second down and 25.
It's officially marked as second and 25. Jackson with time out of the backfield. It's James Smith leaping over one man and then brought down by his opposite number 9, Carson Schneider. Didn't quite do a complete hurdle job of Luke Howe, but you can tell just by that play the confidence that Cheltenham is playing with. They're feeling a potential upset.
And that was still regardless, the athleticism to hurdle or half hurdle, whatever you want to call it. You got to assume he's in track and field. And he got up there, too. It wasn't just a little jump hop.
Timeout called by Neshaminy.
A whistle and a timeout called by the Skins. I'll let you know that the N Club is supporting Neshaminy football since 1961. We'd like to take this opportunity to wish our players the best of luck and ask you to come out and support them. Also support our concession stands and look for Neshaminy spirit wear and program books at all home games.
And guidance every step of the way.
So Neshaminy, Nick, they began the season, right, with those back-to-back shutouts. It's the second time in 4 years, actually, that they have 2 shutouts in one season. 2022 shutout Ocean City and Abington. It's their first time with back-to-back shutouts since weeks 4 through 5 of the 2020 season, when they shut out Central Bucks West on the road and then Pennsbury at home. Of course, they can't get 3 straight shutouts anymore. The last time they did that was the first 3 weeks of the 2013 season. They went on to the PIAA Class 4A semifinals that year, lost to eventual champion St. Joseph's Prep. It was just littered with NFL talent on that team. DeAndre Swift, Olamide Zacchaeus, former Penn Stater John Reed was on that squad.
It's hard to believe that was going on back in the day. Not many people were even aware of it at the time.
Third and forever. Jackson rolling, directing traffic, chased by Corey Keenoy Webb, who gets him to the ground. A flag flew from one of the umpires. Well, if it's against Cheltenham, it'll be declined. And that's what it is. Nick Felix declines the penalty, and now in 4th and long, you would expect the punting unit to trot onto the turf. And here they come. So Neshaminy, they bent, but they didn't break on this drive. They're going to pick up their first defensive stop. So the punter will be Eli Stamen, who we've also seen utilized in the running game. Skins will send Brock Williams back deep to receive. He stands at his own 5, now walking forward a bit. The punt by Stamen is high, it's wobbly, it bounces, it's rolling, and it checks up at the 9. So all things considered, that could have been a lot worse for Neshaminy. Still pinned back at their own 9-yard line. And still looking for their first down, Nick. Down 10-0, 8:07 to play second quarter. Still a lot of time, but the Skins offense has to get rolling.
Yeah, they haven't really looked as efficient as we talked about in the pregame. Eckert's been scrambling a lot. He's got pressure in his face almost every play, but Neshamany's got to go back to the ground game, Jordan. They've been really successful at that. I mentioned it last week in the game against Council Rock North. They had 277 yards and a couple touchdowns on the ground last week and utilized Carter Klee very well. That's really, like I said, their bread and butter, and that's where they're good at, and then it opens up their passing game more.
Klee is lined up in the backfield along with his quarterback, Eckert. High snap. Eckert's going to take it himself. He's got room. Eckert across the 20 and then thrown down. After a first down gain, it's the first time Neshaminy moves the chains tonight. Jabriel Epps, the junior defensive back, there to get him to the ground. Michael Eckert was held in pretty good contain the last time these two teams met. He was just 8 for 17 for 112 yards and a touchdown. Neshaminy's 21-14 win. 1st and 10, same play. There goes Eckert. Looked like he ran into his own man that time, and then falls to the ground at the 28 after a gain of about 4.5.
Michael Eckert with another run up the middle.
But you said, Nick, you wanted to see the running game get going. We're seeing the RPO plays now. Michael Eckert making these reads. And he's got the opportunity to hand it off to Klee or take it himself. So 2nd and 6 from the 28. Play action this time, quick throw, slinging it for Lagler, and it's off his hands. That's the 3rd time Bobby Lagler's been targeted. And that was the first one that he had a chance at, and that's one you got to haul in.
Yeah, good read there by Eckert. Lagler, good route ran there. It was open right through his hands.
Maybe just not used to being used in these shorter yardage positions, so we've seen him come unglued on his 2 catches so far this season. Extra offensive lineman Carson Schneider on the left side. Klee goes in motion. Eckert looking to get out of traffic in the backfield and cannot. Isaiah Simpson there with the pressure. It'll be 4th down, and the punting unit believes going to come back on. Tristan Rivera is out on the field, and here they come.
4th down and 9.
I'll tell you what, Neshaminy, they don't have quite the same size advantage in the trenches as they did last week against Council Rock North, but it is still an advantage. Kind of surprising we're seeing Cheltenham dominate the way they have, but give them all the credit in the world. They deserve it. This Panthers team coming in here, first home game for Neshaminy. They've been unafraid. Rivera sends it away back to James Smith, who's got a lot of green grass to work with. There he goes across the 50. Smith making a cut move, looking to take it all the way, and he's brought down by the last line of defense.
James Smith with the long ball.
Well, Rivera, the punter, was the one to finally get him down. Big time return all the way to the 21-yard line. And if you're Rivera, maybe you want some more hang time on that punt. Give the Gunners a better chance to get down there. But more good starting field position. Second time Cheltenham has started a drive from inside the Neshaminy 25-yard line. On top 10-0 here. 6:04 to play, second quarter. Jackson, play action. Quick throw. That's Chaz Moore, ridden down from behind by Carson Schneider. Across the 20-yard line. Give him the 18. That's a pickup of 4. Just seems that whenever any of these wideouts for Cheltenham get the ball, they're automatically in space.
Neshaminy last season struggled with these kind of receivers, these quick receivers, these quick routes they can run, and they've struggled early in this one.
The give inside goes to Eli Stamen, and he bounces off bodies down to the 15. 3-yard run that time for Stamen, the junior. It'll set up 3rd down and 3.
Rocco Gregory was there for the stop.
Well, Cheltenham's offenses look very similar to what we're used to seeing out in Neshaminy. Medium range chunk plays, and then if they continue that trend, eventually they're going to hit you over the top, or at least try to. 3rd and 3. Play action. Jackson with time, running out of it, eludes Kenoy Webb, throws to the outside, and it's incomplete. Isaiah Simpson nearly made an incredible adjustment on that ball, but did so a fraction of a second late.
Pass was intended for Isaiah Simpson.
And here comes the field goal unit. Andrew St. John, he's already made one from 18 yards. He's certainly got a leg. We've seen it on the kickoffs. His extra point almost went over top of the uprights as it split it. This one a little longer, 32-yard try for Andrew St. John to give Cheltenham a 13-point advantage just past the midway point of this second quarter.
Come on, block this, man.
Kick is on the way. It's up, it's high, and it is good. St. John 2 for 2, and it's 13-0 Cheltenham. Can't quite say this is what we expected, Nick.
No, that's points now on Cheltenham's first 3 of their 4 possessions, 13 points, and Neshamony's offense does not look the same as he did the first 2 weeks.
It's worth noting that Cheltenham last season, they were 0-5 in one-score games, and then they lost their first one-score game this season last week. So if you're the Panthers now, up 13-0, but you got to keep the pedal down. The Neshaminy offense that has proven itself to be very dangerous through the first 2 weeks, having scored 71 points combined in their first 2 games.
Don't forget to donate to Nathan.
Haven't found themselves in this position at all, which is trailing, and much less by 2 scores.
Well, you could look at last year for Cheltenham. They finished the year 3-7. It's almost an anomaly because in 2023 they finished 7-3, and in 2022 they were 8-3. So this group of seniors is a winning bunch for the Panthers. They've just struggled last year.
Good kick. Wow, look at this. It's going to go through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Brock Williams looked surprised. He was backpedaling and just reached the point where he just let it sail over his head.
Yeah, St. John's got a leg on him. I mean, for that field goal, Jordan, that looked like it would have been good from 50 yards easily. So Cheltenham needs 3 tonight in a big spot. I mean, they know St. John is their guy.
He's certainly got some hang time to his kicks, that's for sure. And so this drive for Neshaminy will start from their own 20-yard line. You want to think in the mindset of taking baby steps. Neshaminy picked up their first down last drive, which they hadn't done so on their first 2. Now it's time to put up points. Eckert, designed quarterback run, not much doing, runs into a stone wall out of the 23-yard line.
Michael Eckert with the quarterback keeper.
So they give him perhaps a generous 3 yards. As Michael Eckert's legs, that's really been the only bright spot of this game for the Skins offense.
And it's strange for us to see that too, and for the audience, because you see the Neshaminy offense, what they can do when they're clicking on all cylinders.
Eckert keeps it again. Skirts through the first wave of defenders. Now he's into the secondary. And then he's forced out of bounds at the 41-yard line by Jordan Elmine. Well, Eckert, he's the one making these decisions on the RPOs. It seems like he's gotten himself into a mode where his first read is just keep it. 1st and 10 from the 41. Eckert, pitch play. He keeps it himself again, then he's brought down after a gain of about 2. Kyle Montgomery in on that tackle. So 3:40 to go, second quarter. Neshaminy gets the ball to start the second half. Gotta believe their mindset right here is to work the football version of 2 possessions for 1. Try to punch it in, get the ball back, start the third quarter and see what happens. 2nd and 8, Eckert, quick throw. Pass is caught, and then taken down right around the line to gain that time is David Liberty. That's David Liberty's first catch of the season, and they're going to give him enough for the first, out to the 49. And now Neshaminy operating in plus territory for the first time.
Well, what Cheltenham has done so successful is those quick passes. Neshaminy's been good in the first 2 weeks in their season. Why not use some of that formula tonight? Kind of get your receivers in space and give them the ball quickly and give Eckert quick throws.
1st and 10. Eckert. They set up the screen with Klee. He juggles it and then can't bring it in. It's always a very dangerous play when that screen pass gets tipped up in the air like that. And fortunately for the Skins, it harmlessly falls to the ground. Haven't seen Carter Klee get going so far.
Yeah, they haven't had too many design runs. You just mentioned, Jordan, a lot of Michael Eckert taking the RPO carries. There's been maybe 1 or 2 plays, top of my head, for Carter Klee tonight that are design runs.
Second and 10, some flinching, no flags. There goes Carter Klee, and that's what he can do. 9, maybe 10-yard carry out to the 40. I think he's going to be a half a yard short. On the game recap between Neshaminy and Council Rock North last week in PhillyBurbs.com, Tom Moore talked with Carter Klee, and Klee told him that he felt like Neshaminy was disrespected by some of the state rankings. Feels like they're playing with an edge. Eckert this time on the QB keep, 1st down and more. Jukes out to the 25-yard line. Looking like Jalen Hurts putting his foot in the ground, and that's a 16-yard gain on 3rd and short. And now we're starting to see this Neshaminy offense find their rhythm late stages 2nd quarter.
Yeah, the play calling's been good, and Eckert's executing his plays in. This is more than the Neshaminy that we've known the first 2 weeks. We're going to have a timeout here by the Panthers.
Yeah, 2 players down. Kyle Montgomery gets up quickly. Isaiah Simpson, who was also down earlier in this game, he gets up with a little bit of help. Cheltenham used their 2nd timeout right there. Let you know that PIAA District 1 is looking for officials for all sports. If you're interested, visit PIAA.org for more information. Again, that's PIAA.org.
Sponsored by Inspire. Bank local, bank better.
So we've seen Carter Klee find his footing on this drive. Still haven't seen the receiving core of Brock Williams, Bobby Lagler, and then the Sassano brothers get going. Williams had himself a monster game last week. 4 catches, 83 yards, 2 touchdowns through the air. Also a touchdown on the ground as he went for the hat trick in that 41-0 rout over Council Rock North.
1st down and 10 for Neshaminy.
Williams is the motion man on 1st and 10 from the 26. Into the chest of Klee it goes, and then he's tackled forward across the 25. Isaiah Simpson, again, we've been calling his name often tonight. Tackles Klee after a gain of a yard.
1 yard gain on the play brings up 2nd down and 9.
This Neshaminy home crowd, they've been forced to sit on their hands for most of this game. But a chance for the Skins if they could punch it in on this drive, get to the halftime locker room, trailing by only 6 or 7. And now Nick Felix is going to use his 2nd timeout. So 1:36 to play. Neshaminy driving. And Nick, I talked about it at the beginning of this drive, baby steps. Got obviously a lot of time to work with if you're Neshaminy. Didn't start out well, but 13-0, the defense has done just enough. And they got to feel like if they can go down and put 7 points up on the board right here, they're going to have a pretty good feeling going into the break.
Yeah, and like you said, them with Neshaminy receiving the 2nd half kickoff, you score here, you make some adjustments, you figure out what has worked well, what has not worked well. And like you said, Jordan, you got to get more of your playmakers involved. The Sano brothers, Brock Williams, and as well much as Carter Klee. Because that's really their offense, and they've been really good when those guys are all together clicking as one unit.
We know Nick Felix will deploy that RPO quite a bit. We've seen it more in this game than we have the first 2. 2nd and 9. Handoff, it's Klee, met immediately, and then some yards after contact. as he rides defenders to the 20-yard line.
With the run up the middle.
The initial hit that time was by Kai Miller in the backfield, and then a good job by Klee to bounce off of it. Now 3rd down and 4 on the fringes of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Eckert pitches it. Klee, he's got some space, and he's got the first. Ended up almost kneeling down to try to get underneath that tackle, which was coming from Jalen Hill. Carries it to the 15-yard line. That's enough to move the 6 for a Skins first down. The clock will run down to 60 seconds and ticking here in the first half. Skins looking to punch it in and put some points up on the board before the break. Eckert with the quarterback keep, can't split the middle. Tackled after a gain of about 2 down to the 7. Clock still running. The Neshaminy offense letting that clock continue to wind down. 35 seconds to go. 2nd and 7. Eckert, play action, end zone shot, wide open. Mike Sassano for the touchdown. And the Skins are able to strike before the half. They cut the deficit down. It's 13-6.
Well, we were wondering when the Sassano Bros would get involved. A perfect time with 23 ticks exactly on the clock. A beautiful little lob pass from Eckert to Sassano, and the Skins are right back in this game. Jordan, a great find, and we saw the running game. They were using it well. It really opened up the passing game. Sassano wide open in the back of the end zone.
That's one of those plays where if you're Eckert, right, you wish that you ran that from the opponent's 30 as the kick is blocked. Tristan Rivera could barely get that over the helmets of his linemen. So it will remain 13-6. But going back to that touchdown, Sassano had nobody even close to him. It's one where if it was ran back from your opponent or from your own territory, that's a big gainer. But Eckert, he'll take the 6 points. And so now Neshaminy trailing by 7 with 23 seconds to go. And I can't imagine that Cheltenham is going to play this too aggressively. They've got the lead. They're on the road in search of their first win of the season. You would think the goal for them is just get to halftime. Don't make any mistakes right here. You feel pretty good about yourself on top by 7 against a high-powered Skins squad.
To see how much money our community can make for the kids. All proceeds benefit 4 diamonds in the fight against pediatric cancer. This will end at halftime. Thank you in advance for your support.
Well, that was the drive, Nick, that we're used to seeing out of Neshaminy, at least through the first 2 weeks. Started back on their own 20-yard line, and they march it 80 yards in about 5 minutes. They're able to get on the board with the Mike Sassano touchdown.
A very methodical drive. They use that clock really well with 23 ticks to go, only 1 timeout in your back pocket, and to put it in, and you're right back in this game down 7.
It's a line drive rolling kick fielded by James Smith inside the 10. Smith bursts across the 30, and there he goes. He gets through. James Smith into the clear, and Cheltenham strikes right back. So much for playing conservatively if you could just go out there and have a 90-yard kick return. And it's 19-6 Panthers. And just when you think Neshaminy is going to be feeling good going into the break, they cut it down to 1 score. James Smith gets uncorked.
He got ahead of steam, saw his opening, took it, burst through, only had Rivera to beat, and he had no chance catching up to Smith. Got right past him, and green grass in front of him, a huge 90-yard kickoff return.
He's proving to be a very dangerous return man. Remember, he almost had that punt return if it wasn't for Rivera earlier. Andrew St. John, it's a high arcing kick that misses wide right. So it's going to remain 19-6. Both teams have now missed an extra point. So now with 10 seconds to play, man, if you're Neshaminy, you had all the momentum, a chance to go into the halftime locker room, trailing by only one score. You get the ball back to start the second quarter, and then just like that, blink and you missed it. James Smith takes it into the end zone on the ensuing kickoff. Now let's see if either Sassano or Brock Williams even get a chance at a return right here. So now all the stuff we just talked about with Cheltenham, it kind of flips over to Neshaminy, where their only chance to be aggressive would be if they return the favor on this kickoff. Williams will field it, and now they'll call touchback. That kick sent Brock Williams just barely onto the blue paint of his own end zone.
Well, Neshaminy can just regroup at intermission. You get the ball in the third quarter, and you got to restart. You got to like what you did in that last drive, and knowing you can do it, Jordan, that's a confidence booster. You could do it again. You got to find that mindset and that mentality, find similar play calls, playing to the strength of your playmakers, as Neshaminy battles down 2 scores right now.
Eckert's just going to take a knee and go into half. There it is. Cheltenham, they've come on up the Pennsylvania Turnpike, and they've got a 19-6 halftime lead in Neshaminy's home opener. The winless Panthers, in search of their first win against Neshaminy in program history, holding this 13-point advantage. Skins will get the ball to begin the third quarter. We'll step aside. We'll be back with the Cheltenham band as well as our halftime report. That's coming up right after this on WBCB.
Rob's Automotive and Collision Center in Lower Bucks County is a full-service repair center with competitive prices, top-of-the-line products, and the finest auto body and mechanical repair technicians anywhere. Rob's makes repairing your car easy. Same-day service guaranteed. Whether it's an oil change, state inspection, or a mechanical issue, Rob's will have you in and out and on your way. 2700 Veterans Highway in Bristol, 215-826-9200 for 24-hour emergency towing. Call 215-826-0250.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team Toyota makes a great choice for your next vehicle purchase or service. With our MVP pricing guarantee, teammate rewards program, and streamlined customer experience, our award-winning operation ensures that you can trust our process. A home team advantage is nothing without the community. Our employees are part of our family, part of your town, and we're all part of the team. We're always here for you at one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, and Glen Mills.
Don't let joint pain bring you down. See how you can get relief at a free joint pain seminar at St. Mary Orthopedics. Joint care experts will inform and answer questions about diagnosing, managing, and treating joint problems, and knowing when it's time for a joint replacement. Ready to get back to life? Get to the next free joint pain seminar. Details at stmaryhealthcare.org/joint seminar. It's your health. Expect more.
Former Philly Tommy Green, and here's the pitch. It's time to fill up your pool. BCWSA offers easy and cost-effective bulk water delivery throughout Bucks County for $180. They will deliver 5,500 gallons of clean water right to your pool. It's a faster way to fill your pool, and you won't have the increased sewer bill by filling it yourself. And if you're on well water, you won't need to worry about the well drying up. Call BCWSA today at 800-222-2068, extension 113, and schedule water delivery, or visit bcwsa.net.
When it comes to plumbing, there's only one trusted name for your home or business. That's Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown. Whether it's drains, water heaters, faucets, or sewers, Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown can solve all of your plumbing problems. Time-tested and punctual since 1984. It's Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown. Call them at 215-943-1776. That's 215-943-1776 for Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown, a proud supporter of high school athletics in Bucks County.
Bucks County, this is home. It's where I was raised, where I learned right from wrong, where I'm raising my family, and where I've spent my life fighting for justice. I've taken on the toughest fights against murderers, traffickers, and child predators who believed they could prey upon the innocent and walk free. I've proven them wrong. I have stood toe-to-toe with the worst among us, delivered justice, and made our communities safer. Because in Bucks County, law and order are not up for debate. And as your district attorney, I will never stop fighting to protect our families and uphold justice. Justice isn't just my job, it's a solemn promise. A promise that every family can sleep safely at night, that no victim will ever be forgotten, and that in Bucks County, crime has consequences. Under my watch, the law is not a suggestion, it's an unbreakable pact. Justice will be swift, it'll be certain, and it'll be served. I'm Jennifer Shorn, and I will never stop fighting for Bucks County. Our families, our safety, our home.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Fred Herron. As your Bucks County Sheriff, it's my job to uphold the law and keep our community safe. That's what I've done every day for nearly 40 years in law enforcement. From the streets of Bensalem to the county courthouse, my focus has been on making our families feel secure in their homes, neighborhoods, and our schools. Safety requires proven leadership because in this office, experience is everything. This November, vote for our team so we can continue providing dependable leadership for our community. I'm your Sheriff, Fred Herron, and I approve this message.
Proceeding paid for by Herron for Sheriff.
Are you living with relentless pain? St. Mary has a new way to help. Knee and hip replacements with a smarter process for faster recovery, earning prestigious awards for quality and value. A rapid recovery program has you walking just hours after surgery, and breakthrough advances such as custom-fit joints position you for a longer pain-free life. 215-710-5888. St. Mary Orthopedics. It's your health. Expect more. Hi, Merrill Reese reminding you to come back home to traditional Italian cuisine at the Revere Restaurant, 802 River Road in Ewing Township. You'll always feel welcome at the Revere. It's like stepping back in time where you'll feel like you're dining in South Philly or New York's Little Italy. Start your meal with complimentary Hoboken bread. Choose from a menu featuring fresh seafood dishes, succulent steaks and chops, or homemade pasta dishes. You can even eat at the bar. The Revere.
Last chance to donate some mini funds. They're walking around right now.
Today, life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs.
Back here from Heartbreak Ridge, we've reached halftime between Cheltenham and Neshaminy, and it's the Cheltenham Panthers coming on the road. They've got a 19-6 lead, Nick, after the first 24 minutes of play, and it seems their game plan, they've been executing it, and it's been pretty simple. Kendall Jackson, their quarterback, just get the ball out of his hands quickly and get it to the receivers who've been making the plays.
And he's looked really comfortable against this Neshaminy front seven, who we've talked about the first 2 weeks of this season, who's really the backbone of their defense and really can get after any quarterback. Well, they've struggled. They have not gotten home tonight. Jackson's looked comfortable, and when you get Jackson comfortable, he's making Neshaminy pay for it. And it's really something that in the second half we're going to see if Neshaminy's defense can get home, get some more pressures on him, and cause some havoc in the backfield.
Yeah, Neshaminy's defense certainly needs some reinforcements and some improvements into the second half if the Skins want to make this comeback. But their offense, it took them till their third drive to pick up their first down of this game. They went pretty much the first 16 minutes of game action without moving the chains at all. But then on their final offensive drive, if you don't count the kneel down to end the half, they go down 80 yards and put the ball in the end zone. Michael Eckert finding Mike Sassano for the touchdown grab. Down by 13, but is that something you think that the Skins are going to be looking to build on as they try to make this comeback?
Yeah, and they have the personnel to do it, Jordan. They have the guys. Eckert, one of the veterans in this team now. I talked about in the pregame how good and his completion percentage has been this year, his career high almost, and how efficient he's been. But between him and using Carter Klee to his strengths, that you can do it. You got to get back to running the football. Yes, you're down 2 scores, and that's the problem. A lot of coaches at this level want to just air it out because you're down a lot of touchdowns. Do what you're successful at. Carter Klee is your running back. Michael Eckert can run it on the ground himself, and then you get your playmakers in Lagler and the Sano brothers, and as well as Brock Williams, get them some touches today. And you have the personnel to do it. It's just a matter of execution and the right play calling at the right time, and that's where Neshaminy and head coach Nick Felix is looking to do in the second half.
That's a really good point, especially because if Carter Klee is able to get going here in the second half, I know they're down 13. It's going to be interesting to see if Nick Felix continues to go to the run game. But if Carter Klee is able to get unlocked, that will open up the passing game a little bit more and allow Lagler, the Sassano brothers, Brock Williams, more opportunities to stretch the field, which we've seen them do so well and so often during the first 2 games of this season. Neshaminy down 19-6 here at halftime, still awaiting their return to the field. Cheltenham, they're out there kind of loosely stretching around as they look for their first win of the season, losing by 11 in their first game, and then a heartbreaking loss against Central Bucks East last week, 17-14 on a last-second field goal by the Patriots. We talked about it earlier, right? I posed I believe it at least was the first ever WBCB football coverage trivia question of this season. And for those of you that did not hear, Cheltenham, they've got a flurry of very famous alumni, but there were 3 that really stuck out to me when I was doing my research for this game. One of them, a very famous baseball player with a famous nickname. The other, a leader of a country outside of the United States. And one of them is a pretty well-known rapper here from the Philadelphia area. And I'd like to give a shout out to RMD Creative Design and Zach Feinberg, the Cheltenham play-by-play broadcaster, who talked about him a little earlier, did a great job helping us out, giving us some information on Cheltenham. Both of them were able to get at least 2 out of the 3 correct. RMD Creative Design on Instagram, shout out to him. He got both the baseball player and the leader, and Zach Feinberg got all 3. Now, Nick, before I reveal the answer, I want to get your take. I want to get your guess.
Well, am I allowed any lifelines here? Because, I mean, you got to go nickname for baseball. I mean, there's hundreds of nicknames. Is it modern day? Is it years ago? I'm going to need at least a decade or something.
It's 80s.
80s.
Well known with the Yankees.
Yankees, 80s. Whew, I don't follow the Yankees. 80s. I don't know off the top of my head.
The baseball player is Reggie Jackson.
Reggie Jackson. Darn it. Mr. October, how should I know?
All right, now let's see. Can you get the leader of a country, not the United States, of course, but a leader of a country who was a graduate of Cheltenham High School?
Is it Europe or a different country? I need at least a direction.
It's Asia.
Oh, I was going to say, okay. Asia.
Western Asia.
Western Asia. Oh. Whew, this is hard on the spot. It's got to be, is it any of the Korean countries? South Korea? No. No, I got nothing. Went to Cheltenham and he's a leader of an Asian country. I don't know.
You want the answer?
Yeah.
Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel.
I would have never guessed
graduate
it.
of Cheltenham High School. And then I think which was probably the toughest of the three to get, so big credit to Zach Feinberg for getting the answer correct on this one. But the rapper, well known, he's not, I wouldn't say this guy's all too big. Like, you have to have a certain niche, I think, to know who this is. He's got a very funny nickname. I'll give him that, if that is
there's a lot of good, funny nicknames in the rap business nowadays. Is it a modern rapper?
It is a modern rapper.
If you give me like 4 choices, I could probably figure it out from that. I don't think I can do it off the top of my head.
His stage name, as a lot of rappers, starts with Lil, L-I-L.
Is it Lil Uzi Vert?
Not Lil Uzi Vert. That's a very good guess, though. Another Philly guy. But no, it's Michael S. Brown, better known as the rapper Lil Dicky.
Oh, I know Lil Dicky. He went to Cheltenham. I didn't know that. I'm learning something here, buddy.
Well, I'm learning something, too, that I'm starting to learn more about your music taste as well. I'm not sure if that's good or bad.
Well, it's mixed.
Well, we'll put that aside. A big shout out to those two who got the answer correct and sending us DMs on our Instagram. You could follow our new Instagram at WBCB_SN. We're going to be posting a lot of high school sports content on there. The Neshaminy, they've retaken the field, trailing 19-6, looking for a big second half comeback in their home opener and looking to go to 3-0 for the second consecutive season. Just the second time it would be a 3-0 start in back-to-back years for Neshaminy since 2009 through 2011 when they did it 3 consecutive times. Down 19-6. It's going to be the Skins offense up first. Or I should say, actually it's Cheltenham. I want to make a correction there.
Oh,
Cheltenham,
yeah, you threw me off. That's
will
right.
Get the ball first
They
to start
deferred.
the second half. We'll step aside and be back with the start of the third quarter right after this on WBCB.
Sandy's Beef and Ale has been serving famous hand-carved roast beef sandwiches since 1967. Sandy's Beef and Ale is located in the Woodburn Square Shopping Center next to the Oxford Valley Mall. Stop in anytime for not only the roast beef sandwiches, but also the patty, the tailgater, and the Cuban. Family and friends have been coming to Sandy's Beef and Ale since 1967. 2028 Old Lincoln Highway, the home of the hand-carved sandwich.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team Toyota makes a great choice for your next vehicle purchase or service. With our MVP pricing guarantee, teammate rewards program, and streamlined customer experience, our award-winning operation ensures that you can trust our process. A home team advantage is nothing without the community. Our employees are part of our family, part of your town, and we're all part of the team. We're always here for you at one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, and Glen Mills.
Don't let joint pain bring you down. See how you can get relief at a free joint pain seminar at St. Mary Orthopedics. Joint care experts will inform and answer questions about diagnosing, managing, and treating joint problems and knowing when it's time for a joint replacement. Ready to get back to life? Get to the next free joint pain seminar. Details at stmaryhealthcare.org/joint seminar. It's your health. Expect more. 1490 WBCB Levittown and Trenton, and video stream live at WBCBsports.com. Your home for the best local sports in Bucks and Mercer counties.
Second half of action about set to get underway here from Heartbreak Ridge with Neshaminy trailing this one 19-6. Cheltenham, their offense will be up first. An offense where the game plan has been simple. Just get the ball to the receivers and make them make plays. They've executed it and then some. Looking to come on the road and pull an upset for their first win of the 2025 season. The kick's away, and the second half is off and running. Fielded from inside the 15-yard line, James Smith gets wrestled to the ground shy of the 30. There to get him for Neshaminy was Carson Schneider. Called his name a couple of times already in this game. Had a big game last season against Cheltenham, 3 tackles for loss, 9 total tackles. He was on our high school coaches roundtable discussion earlier this week. Carson Schneider was asked by Chris Irmer who his favorite NFL player is that he likes to study, and he said Zach Baun. Certainly a guy that if you're able to take some notes from him, probably going to be pretty well off. Jackson looking to air it out on the first play of the second half, and it's overshot in the direction of Carson Gideons. Good coverage that time by Nick Sassano. Don't mind the game plan right there by Cheltenham. Try to punch Neshaminy in the mouth on the first play, but sticky coverage. And now it's 2nd down and 10 from the 29-yard line. Jackson, handoff. It's Smith over the left side. It's a modest gain across the 30, out to the 33. It's a pickup of 4 on 2nd down, and it'll bring up 3rd and 6.
Well, Cheltenham has scored on every one of their drives except one. They've only punted 1 time tonight. So the first couple plays, just trying to test Neshaminy right out of the locker room. And Terrence Tolbert is not afraid of this environment tonight, as the energy was high, as we mentioned. And Neshaminy trying to fight back in this game. Their defense trying to get this quick 3 and out, get them off the field.
3rd and 6. This is where Neshaminy's defense has struggled. Looking to force a 3 and out. Pass is caught on the far sideline. Asaya Upchurch. Easy pitch and catch. Jackson to Upchurch to move the chains.
With the reception, picking up a Cheltenham first down.
Jackson with some time on that play. Found Upchurch again on the near sideline. Nice strike to him as Panthers keep this drive alive.
They move the sticks. It's now 1st and 10 from their own 41. Jackson bouncing around, taking off, and then ridden down by Carson Schneider once again. Wrapped him up, threw him to the turf after a gain of 5. He got half of what he needs, and it's now 2nd and 5.
Carson Schneider with the stop. 2nd and 5.
Second and 5. The throw is well high. Corey Kenoy-Webb provided some pressure off the edge.
Intended for Dion Evans.
I haven't really seen this Neshaminy defensive front do much of anything to note in this game. And a lot of that's just because Jackson, whenever he gets the ball, it's in his hands and out of his hands. Don't let the defensive line get home. 3rd and 5. Slinging it. Pass is caught. And then we're going to get a face mask on this one. It was caught by Dion Evans, the junior receiver. But instead of 4th and 1, a pretty clear face mask. And that'll extend the drive and push Cheltenham into plus territory. It's a 15-yard penalty. They're going to march this football all the way down to the 34.
That's a very big penalty when you're close to midfield. You're giving them free 15 yardage. And Neshaminy's defense on their toes again.
Another 1st and 10. Give goes to Stamen. He's got a lot of room Stamen out to the 20-yard line, and then a flag comes in at the tail end of the play from the offensive backfield. This one may be coming back, and it indeed is. Another holding call against Cheltenham. It's been their one bugaboo, is these penalties. That's an area that Neshaminy certainly was working on coming into this game. They've been much better.
They've definitely improved, and you really wonder, Jordan, a lot of these drives, even though Cheltenham is scoring on majority of their drives tonight, what the score could be like if you take away 2 of those field goals that they got earlier in the game. A lot of them were drives that were penalty heavy, and they had to settle for field goals.
1st and 15 from the 39. Eli Stamen in the backfield with Kendall Jackson. Skins show pressure, and a false start. That false start was caused by the work of Carson Schneider. He was going to come with the blitz right up the middle, and I think that spooked the Cheltenham offensive line and caused one of them to jump. It's one of those plays where the defense really has the advantage because you can move around all you want back there as long as you don't cross into the neutral zone. You're on the offensive line, a little flinch, and you're going to cost your team 5 yards.
And just like that, Neshaminy got that 15-yard penalty right back in their favor.
1st and 20, Jackson fires near side, and it's off the hands of Gideons. Good coverage by Tristan Rivera. 5'9", 152-pound senior.
Well, if you're in Neshaminy, Jordan, and you see Jackson making these quick throws, and you know your pressure is not getting home, you just got to find another way to adjust in your coverages and scheme something out where you're matching up your defenders in more zone coverage.
2nd and 20, handoff. Lots of room for Jamal Butler, and then he gets dragged down to the turf by Corey Kenoy-Webb, who got him from behind. Potential big play saving tackle there by Kenoy-Webb.
Well, just as I said what I said about zone coverage, that's what happens when you play zone coverage. You give up a lot of those short chunk rushing plays, though.
Skins defense has struggled, especially in these 3rd and long scenarios, surprisingly. 3rd and 14. Quick throw. It's Gideons. He starts up. Carson Gideons is still on his feet, and then brought down at the 24-yard line, and he's got just enough to move the chains.
I mean, how did Jackson turn nothing into something there? Got away from the pressure. Gideons came back to the football to get it, made a man miss, got some good blocks up front, and was able to get a 1st down.
Are they marking him a little short now?
Yeah,
they're bringing out the chains, it looks like. I thought he clearly had enough for the 1st down.
It looked like he did.
Well, the spot is at the 25, which I think is generous if you're a Skins player.
And it's going to be just enough.
Very close. Let's see. Man, they have to really lean in to look.
And all 3 officials.
And they give him the 1st down. Man, someone get those officials a telescope for how close that one was.
1st down.
So Gideon's there with 15 yards and a centimeter on that catch and run. And again, it's not the deep ball that's hurting the Skins. It's these underneath passes and then just not able to get these guys to the ground. This handoff goes to Jaden Walker. The ball came out there at the end, and the Skins have it. Neshaminy in desperate need of something to go their way, in desperate need of a play that could change and swing the momentum of this game. They get it when they need it the most, and the Skins offense will take over.
Mike Sassano was there to cause the fumble.
I say Mike Sassano was the one to force it out. And with Cheltenham driving, looking like a drive that was ticketed for pay dirt once again, Sassano comes up huge. And now the offense goes back to work, trailing by 13. It's drive will start from their own 17-yard line. They're going to build on the touchdown drive at the end of the half. And with the high snap, all Eckert can do is fall forward, and he's going to lose a couple. Well, Nick, if Neshaminy does come back and win this game, you can pinpoint that fumble recovery right there as the turning point.
Yeah, it definitely would be. And Neshaminy still's got a lot of work to do, but plenty of game left. But this is a big possession for them. They got to come away with some sort of points here on this drive to get back a little bit closer.
Man coverage across the board on 2nd and long. Quick throw inside. Brock Williams makes one defender miss. Not much after the fact, however. Out to the 19-yard line. Bring up 3rd and 8. Alistair Reese got him to the ground. It's the first time that we've called Brock Williams' name tonight, at least in the offensive game. We've seen him on special teams a couple of times. Third and 8, they need the 27. Eckert over the middle, throws a pick. And this is going to be taken back to the house. James Smith, it fell right in his lap. And Cheltenham, they've been doing it all game long. Anything Neshaminy can do, the Panthers are proving they can do better. And they take a 25-6 lead. Couldn't have walked down there and gift-wrapped it to Smith any better. It was intended for Mike Sassano, who was coming up the seam. The throw appeared to be a bit behind him, and it results in 6 points the other way.
Well, James Smith having himself an evening, a 90-yard kickoff return and a 20-yard pick-six touchdown to really put Cheltenham and the Panthers up 3 scores now.
This kick is up and through, and it's a 20-point Cheltenham advantage. 26-6 with 6:31 to play here in the third quarter. I'll let you know that there's great food, fine spirits, and good times. It's always on the menu at the Irish Rover Station House in Langhorne, opposite the SEP train station. Got trivia night every Wednesday starting at 7 o'clock. Irish Rover Station House open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to midnight. Fridays and Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. Sundays, 11 to 9. And they're closed on Mondays. Don't forget, if you miss any of today's action, you can read all about it in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. For your complete local and national news 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian or online at trentonian.com. The only newspaper serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County 7 days a week. It's the Trentonian. PIAA District 1 looking for officials for all sports. If you're interested, visit PIAA.org. St. John sends it away. Williams calls fair catch. At least it appeared. Instead, he'll start up from the 5 and take it out to the 25-yard line. So a 20-yard return for Brock Williams. Michael Eckert and the Skins offense right back out there after their second turnover of the night.
Well, Jordan, we started tonight's game talking about Neshaminy's defense, haven't given up a point to the season. Well, first 2 possessions, Cheltenham said forget about that, and they put up 10 quick points on Neshaminy's defense. Michael Eckert coming in tonight has been very good and protective of the football this year, has not thrown an interception, and he just threw his first interception of the year at the worst time, a pick-6, as his team is down 3 scores now, halfway through third quarter.
That's the other thing, too. These turnovers have led to 14 points for Cheltenham. They'll run it with Carter Klee, and Carter Klee has a lot of space. Brought down by Makee Farrell at the 42-yard line. So there you go. Neshaminy with a 17-yard gain on the first play of this drive, looking to answer back after the pick-6. Screen play. Williams has blockers, cuts inside. He's into positive territory down to the 47-yard line. That'll move the chains for Neshaminy. And so quick strike, 2 plays, and they're already into Panthers territory on the 48.
Well, you were asking for Brock Williams. There he was. Perfect timing as Williams is limping a little bit, getting to the line of scrimmage.
And now Makee Farrell is going to jog off with his helmet off, and that's why we have this stoppage.
It's just an official timeout there as both teams go into the huddle now. It's not an official time, a
Don't leave your
Timeout by either school.
I believe it's an injury timeout. And Nick, I want to get your thoughts on this Neshaminy defense. They pitched back-to-back shutouts to start the season, but now it seems like they really have no answers for the Cheltenham passing game. They've just been using a lot of underneath routes, and these receivers have been doing the rest.
Yeah, and it's surprising to see, too, and Cheltenham has changed just like Neshaminy has under head coach Terrence Tolbert, but this was not the same Cheltenham team that came into the Ridge last year that only put up 14 points. Jackson's the same quarterback. The receivers are the same. Not much has changed from Cheltenham, the personnel, but Neshaminy's defense just doesn't have the answer. They have the personnel to match it, but they just can't keep up with Jackson and his quick decision-making.
Carter Klee carries it forward for a gain of 3 before he gets tossed aside. Elijah Burnley, the big defensive lineman, was in on that tackle. Now 2nd down and 7 from the 45. We keep talking about Neshaminy needing this comeback. They're going to pull it off. It's got to start right here. A nice start to this drive. Trailing by 20. They got to answer. See if Eckert goes to the air. He will. Slant route. Brock Williams in space. There goes Williams, taking it down the sideline and stumbling out of bounds at the 10. Well, last week when I was down on the field getting our post-game interview, I heard Nick Felis talking about Brock Williams in their post-game huddle. He called him Brock Big Play Williams. And he has his first big play of the night right there, moving Neshaminy into the red zone at the 13. He is still limping as he goes to take his position in the slot. Pitch play. Carter Klee starts up, and he is in for the touchdown. He kept those legs churning, and he would not stop until he was into blue grass. And the Skins get those 6 points right back. 26-12 is your score. And after the play, we've got a man down for Cheltenham. Well, again, don't forget, if you miss any of today's action, you can read all about it in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. For complete local and national news 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian or online at Trentonian.com. The only newspaper serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County 7 days a week. It's the Trentonian. PIAA District 1 is looking for officials for all sports. If you're interested, you can visit PIAA.org for more information. Again, that's PIAA.org if you're interested in becoming an official. PIAA District 1 wishes all student athletes the best of luck on the field and the classroom. Great food, fine spirits, and good times are always on the menu at the Irish Rover Station House in Langhorne, opposite the SEPTA train station. Irish Rover is your home for all Philly sports, and happy hour every Monday through Friday from 4 to 7 p.m. The Irish Rover is known for their prime rib dinner specials every Wednesday night for us $19.95. Also trivia night every Wednesday starting at 7. Thursdays are their wing nights. Live music Saturdays and Sunday Fun Day special with $5 menu. The player down again was Isaiah Simpson.
He's been down a couple times tonight.
That one looked like it was the most serious of them all. So all right, after Tristan Rivera had his extra point blocked on Neshaminy's first touchdown, Nick Felis is going to play it more aggressively and go for 2. Trying to cut the deficit to 12 with 4:38 to play in the third quarter. Man-to-man coverage across the board. Eckert, quarterback keeper, surges ahead and he's in. And then a late hit will cause the flag. The 2-point conversion will stand, and it's a 26-14 ball game. I believe that late hit is going to be assessed on the kickoff as well. So there you go, Nick. Neshaminy, after it looked like their comeback may start on the last drive following the fumble recovery, Eckert instead throws a pick 6. They come right back out there, and a very efficient drive to take it 75 yards into the end zone.
Well, you know, Carter Klee, 12-yard touchdown rush, good run from him, his 3rd of the season. And that was a great drive. And you wonder, Jordan, I mean, I really feel bad for Eckert there throwing that pick six, just not something he's done. Like I said, this season, not something he generally does as well. He's always taking care of the football as best he can. And that really is a difference maker right now. And this would be a little bit closer of a game, too. You're looking at 20-14 right now. Neshaminy involved and close in this game. And now you put it to your defense. They've been on the field the most tonight. And can they cause a turnover or create a quick stop here and get the ball right back?
Well, now after the penalty, right, this kickoff's going to come from the 45-yard line of Cheltenham.
And do you want to just pin them back here and kick it short, or do you want to just kind of go for the touchback here to bring it out?
I was almost wondering if you would try an onside kick.
That would be a lot of fun.
That's what Cheltenham set up ready to defend. Not quite sure what the holdup is. There we go. The whistle has been blown. And they will just boot it deep. And it'll go through the back of the end zone. And so this drive for Cheltenham will begin from their own 20-yard line. Well, it's one thing for the Skins to go down there and look like their old selves on offense. Now they got to look like their old selves on defense. In need of a stop, you got to be able to compile these scores with stops when you're trying to make a comeback. It's almost like in basketball. You go down, you hit a three, cuts a 10-point deficit to 7. You can't go allow an easy layup on the other end.
And you want to get these fans something to cheer about too, Jordan. It's been a very quiet night from them. A full student section, across from us or next to us right now. And you got to give something to get it loud and really make this a home environment for them. Not too many home games this year. Shami's got to take advantage of it.
It's their first of 4 coming here in week 3. Jackson with pressure in his face, and down he goes. Owen Schwartz was all over him. He was unblocked off the left side, and perhaps the easiest sack of Owen Schwartz's career right there.
His 3rd sack of the season, and that's what you needed from this Neshaminy defense. Owen Schwartz winning his battle. Don't know how he goes unblocked there. And Jackson had nowhere to go.
Second and 16 now. Jackson, far side throw, pass caught by Chaz Moore, and he's ridden out of bounds by Mike Sassano. Shy of the 20 at the 18, now 3rd and 12. This is where the Skins have struggled. Talked about it earlier in this quarter. Not many times do you see a team like Cheltenham be able to convert on 3rd and long as often as they have. And if the game plan is the same, expect this pass to be short of the line to gain into one of the hands of the many playmakers in the wide receiving corps. Jackson on 3rd and 12. Escaping. Can he get out of the grasp? He can. He's still rolling. Looking to improv somehow, and he's going to throw it away. Excellent coverage by the Neshaminy secondary, and a great pursuit by that defensive line. And the Skins forced the 3 and out. On a drive that lasted just over a minute, Skins will get the ball back now with a chance to cut it to a 1-possession game if they're able to end it in 6.
And you wonder where that defense has been all game for Neshaminy. They got some pressure, made Jackson uncomfortable. He almost made a play happen there on that rollout, but nothing home. Good coverage on the Skins secondary as they forced another punt, the 2nd punt of the evening for Cheltenham.
Nick Sassano back to return the punt.
Sassano is the punt returner. Eli Stamen is the punter. And he shanked it. It's going to bounce to the 28-yard line and check up at the 30. And my question is, why was he not standing further back from the line? You're almost setting Stamen up for failure right there because he's got to get the punt away very quickly. and as a result just shanked it. And now if you're in Neshaminy, these are the things you have to take advantage of. Short field, you'll start on your opponent's 30. They've got an opportunity to cut this to a one-possession game before the end of this quarter.
Yeah, you're really back in business here. This is a crucial drive.
First and 10. There's Carter Clee at the touchdown on the last drive, and he's got a first down to start this one out across the 15. You talked about him at halftime, Nick. You wanted to see Carter Clee be utilized more. You're getting your wish.
And credit to the O-line up front, giving him that nice hole up the middle, and Carter Clee able to do the rest. Huge gain on first down.
First and 10 now at the 14. Eckert, quarterback keeper, looking to get the edge, and he's forced out. Just shy of the 10-yard line by Jabriel Epps.
Michael Eckert out of bounds.
It's a gain of 2.
On the play brings up second down and 7.
On second down, it goes to the chest of Carter Clee, and he's stacked up.
Carter Clee with the carry.
A trio of Panthers in on that tackle. Alistair Reese was the main one to ride him down. And so now it's third down. Clock ticking, under 2.5 to play, third quarter.
Third down and 5.
Skins very well maybe in 4-down territory, especially after they went for 2 on their last drive, and Tristan Rivera's already had a PAT blocked. Brock Williams lines up as a Wildcat quarterback. What does Nick Felis have drawn up here? It's a keeper. Williams nowhere to go.
Brock Williams up the middle on a keeper.
Carried it forward for about a yard, and now it's 4th down and 4. Does the offense stay out there? We've got some substitutions.
Yeah, you have to in this position. As much as you want to take the points with Rivera here, and you definitely should, but Felis is feeling a little risky here at home.
On 4th down, you can feel like this is almost a swing play in this game. Eckert rolling, end zone shot, broken up and incomplete. Broken up by McKee Farrell. It was intended for Mike Sassano, and the Cheltenham secondary stands tall and keeps the Skins out of the end zone. Man, you almost felt like that was a drive Neshaminy had to at least end in some kind of scoring. You start on the 30, you've got all the momentum on your side. It starts with the big run by Carter Clee, the 16-yard gain, and then it kind of just fizzled once they got into the red zone.
Yeah, I like the call, the Wildcat call with Brock Williams as your quarterback. I just don't know if I like it in that spot on third down. I'd rather have Eckert, my quarterback, and maybe roll something out here in that spot to get a receiver open that way.
Cheltenham offense pinned back is the silver lining for Neshaminy, and Steeman gets stacked up. Running right into the teeth of that defensive line. Milo makes Owen Schwartz both there to get him down.
Eli Stayman on the carry, tackled by Mark Ilkovic. 2nd and 10.
So after no gain, it sets up 2nd down and 10.
Get to him! Get to him!
Jackson rolling in the end zone. We've got a flag down, in fact, a couple of them, and the pass falls harmlessly incomplete in the direction of Carson Gideons. There with Tristan Rivera on the coverage, and I think they're going to get a hold.
I thought they were going to get intentional grounding for a second. Neshaminy was signaling for a safety, their whole staff and some of the bench players.
Well, a holding call would just be half the distance to the goal line. It would have to be intentional grounding for this to be a safety.
Decline. So it was holding.
It almost looked like there were two flags because the official announced that a penalty was declined. Oh, so it was just the one hold, and Nick Felix elects to decline it. So it's 3rd and 10 instead of what would have been 2nd and 13. It only would have been half the distance. They only would have gone back about 3 yards. Skins defense looking for back-to-back 3 and outs.
Get to him, man. Let's go.
Play clock down to 1 and a delay game. Actually, they call a false start. Either way, it's going to be half the distance. And now that decision by Nick Felix to decline the holding call looks even more smart because they end up with 3rd and 13. Just 46 seconds to play here in the third. The Skins defense, which has been better here out of halftime.
Brings up another
7 points for Cheltenham came on the pick 6. So the Skins defense has not allowed anything in the way of points since the break. Third and 13. They need the 18. Over the middle. Pass is caught, and they hit Chaz Moore in stride, and he's got the first down. Came wide open across the middle of the field, and another case of a Cheltenham Panther just wide open with none of the defensive backs around him. There was a flag, and it's going to go against Neshaminy.
Penalty goes against Neshaminy.
And so they move the chains on 3rd and long, backed up in the shadow of their own field goal post. I guess they call personal foul as well. It's a 15-yard penalty tacked on to the end of the play. So they get all the way out to the 40.
Well, another 3rd down, and it's only twice tonight that Cheltenham has not converted on their 3rd down.
First and 10, Jackson, pump fake, deep shot, wide open! Asaya Upchurch can't bring it in! Oh man. Cheltenham with a shot at a dagger right there. And Asaya Upchurch was wide open.
Yeah, if you're wondering how he got so wide open, Sassano thought he had safety help on that side, did not. Was looking at the safety there coming back to the line of scrimmage and wondering what happened there. It was one-on-one and he was beat, and he was beat quickly. And Sassano's had a long night on the outside against these speeder receivers.
Well, they catch a break, but you talked about it in the open where this game was going to fall heavily on how the Neshaminy secondary would perform. If you ask them, probably not playing up to task right now. Here's a pitch play to Dion Evans, looking to turn the corner and can't. Tackled at the last second. And there to get him down was Nick Sassano.
With the carry around the left side.
So again, 3rd and long, 3rd and 8 to be exact. Looking to get it out to midfield. And this 3rd down play will come in the 4th. We've reached the end of the 3rd. 36 minutes down, just 12 to go. Cheltenham with possession on top 26-14. Final quarter of action right after this on WBCB.
Bucks County, this is home. It's where I was raised, where I learned right from wrong, where I'm raising my family, and where I've spent my life fighting for justice. I've taken on the toughest fights against murderers, traffickers, and child predators who believed they could prey upon the innocent and walk free. I've proven them wrong. I've stood toe-to-toe with the worst among us, delivered justice, and made our communities safer. Because in Bucks County, law and order are not up for debate. And as your district attorney, I will never stop fighting to protect our families and uphold justice. Justice isn't just my job, it's a solemn promise. A promise that every family can sleep safely at night, that no victim will ever be forgotten, and that in Bucks County, crime has consequences. Under my watch, the law is not a suggestion, it's an unbreakable pact. Justice will be swift, it'll be certain, and it'll be served. I'm Jennifer Shorn, and I will never stop fighting for Bucks County. Our families, our safety, our home.
Back from Heartbreak Ridge, Neshaminy trailing this one 26-14. Here for the start of the fourth quarter. Cheltenham in a 3rd down and 8. Skins in desperate need of a stop. Panthers have dominated this game on 3rd down. Whistle and a flag. It's going to become a lot harder now. Another false start penalty.
Well, every time we say, Jordan, it's another challenging 3rd down for the Panthers, they steer us wrong and just find a way to convert. And they've tried the most unique plays tonight, and it just have worked every time. When you think Neshaminy has them stopped in a 3rd down, Cheltenham gets enough for the sticks.
Well, they got to get it to midfield right here. Let's see if it's another underneath route. 3rd and 13. Jackson rolling, pressured, and sacked. Owen Schwartz got him. Corey Kenoy-Webb finished it off. And the Skins defense holds, and they're going to force the punt. I believe in the official box score, that'll be a half a sack each for Kenoy-Webb and Schwartz. So now a sack and a half for Owen Schwartz after he had a couple of sacks last week against Council Rock North.
Brings him to 3.5 for the year as Kenoy-Webb gets to 3 sacks even.
Correction, 4th down and 22.
So now Eli Steeman, he backs up a little further this time. We're going to make up for that shanked punt on the last possession. This one's much better. It's almost like a deep ball. It's going to be caught by Nick Sassano with room. Sassano down the near sideline. He's got space and he gets flipped. Out across the 35-yard line. And the Skins have another opportunity now, Nick, with good starting field position. But you got to have it right here, trailing by 12 here in the early stages of this fourth quarter.
Yeah, you're just looking at the way the game's flowing, Jordan. You might only get the ball this drive in one other time, and you're down 2 scores. So you really have to take advantage of it, and you got to put the ball in the end zone both times. And unless Neshaminy's defense creates a turnover, right now it's not too many opportunities left for the offense.
Carter Clee's been the man in the second half. Eckert keeps, flips. Brock Williams gets flipped again. The ball came out of the end, but he was down. And now let's hope Williams is okay. He landed on his head, and he pops right back up. It's a gain of 3. That's a big-time tackle by McKee Farrell, who's slow to get up after the play. Because if he wasn't there with the hit, Williams would have had open space down that sideline. While they tend to Farrell, I'll let you know there's great food, fine spirits, and good times. They're always on the menu at the Irish Rover Station House in Langhorne, opposite the SEPTA train station. The Irish Rover is your home for all Philly sports and happy hour every Monday through Friday, 4 to 7 p.m. Irish Rover is known for their prime rib dinner specials every Wednesday night for just $19.95. Also, trivia night is every Wednesday starting at 7. Thursdays are their wing nights, so if you were there last night, got a chance to take in some wings and a big Eagles win. Live music featured Saturdays and Sundays. Got a Sunday Fun Day special with a $5 menu as well. Irish Rover Station House is open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to midnight. Fridays and Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. Sundays, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. They're closed on Mondays with indoor and outdoor dining and takeout options available.
Get you moving faster. Apply today at inspirefcu.org.
Second down and 8, and now for the Skins, we haven't really seen their big play offense unlocked in terms of the receiving game. One-on-one coverage at the bottom of your screen with David Liberty, who's got 1 catch in this game. Instead, it's an inside give, and Carter Clee has room. He surges forward. He stopped right around the line to gain. He's about a yard short. It'll bring up 3rd down and 1 from the 25.
Isaiah Simpson trips him up.
3rd and 1. Quick throw, wide open, Brock Williams. Easy pitch and catch, and he's got just enough. Saw that play run last week, Nick, where Brock Williams, he was going to run his route, but instead Eckert was like, you know what, they're playing off coverage, I'm just going to get it to you. And again, Williams slow to get up, and again, we've got another Panther that's down. I think that's Isaiah Simpson again.
I think it is. I don't know if it's been cramping every time or he's been actually injured.
It is a very warm, humid night here in Langhorne. Almost unseasonably warm for September. Yeah, Simpson's been down 4 or 5 times at least. Every time he's gotten up under his own power, and he's been able to come back into the game relatively soon after. And you're right, that obviously you don't want to speculate. We don't really have eyes and ears down on the sideline, but it is possible that it is cramping on a humid night like this.
Yeah, and go back to that last play. Brock Williams has been, like I said, moving slow than normal, so you wonder how much he's got left in the tank tonight.
First down, play action. It's Mike Sassano again for the touchdown. 23 yards, and just like that, the Skins are within 1 possession here in the 4th. So Mike Sassano has both touchdowns through the air for Neshaminy. It's a 26-20 ball game. And Nick Felix this time is going to send out the PAT unit. Christian Rivera now looking to make up for the blocked one on this end of the field back in the 2nd quarter. Mike Sassano, who just scored the touchdown, puts it down, and the kick is on the way. It's a line drive, and it's good. We got a 5-point game, 26-21 with 9:32 to go. And Nick, one of the main facets of good teams is they never say die. Even when they're down by 20, like Neshaminy was early in this game, you got to beat them for the full 48 minutes. And the Skins are showing why. They're one of the better teams here in the Suburban 1 League. Looking to make this comeback, and now their defense needs another stop if their offense wants a chance to go out there and give them the lead.
And Neshamany's defense coming alive here, making some stops in big moments of the second half tonight. And the offense putting together a couple nice drives here in the second half, getting Neshaminy back in this game. And Michael Eckert, credit to him, he's had a better second half himself, 8 passing touchdowns on the year. And believe it or not, he only had 9 passing touchdowns in all of 2024. He's got 8 through 3 weeks here in 2025. So that's a huge positive from him as he continues to throw the football at a really high rate, a good clip, and he's getting the ball in the end zone through the air.
So on the defense once again, which is looked like night and day between the first half and the second half. Skins got to be feeling pretty confident.
And plenty of time left, 9.5 minutes to go in this game. You're only down 1 score, it could go either way here.
The kick's away, it's end over end. It sends Chaz Moore back. He's off to return, and then he's wrapped up at the 26-yard line. Better kick coverage that time by the Skins. So now how do the Panthers respond? They front ran this entire game, looking to go on the road, pull the upset, and pick up their first victory of the season. It starts with a run to James Smith. He's shifty. He's proven that tonight. And he skirts his way forward for a first down out to the 38-yard line. It's a gain of 12.
Cheltenham trying to go back to what was working in the first half, those quick passes, getting their guys in space. Again, challenging the Neshaminy secondary and that D-line to get home and challenge Jackson in his face.
give him the 39. 1st and 10. Handoff. It's Smith again. James Smith into the secondary once more. He moves the chains on back-to-back plays. And this drive has taken Cheltenham all the way down to the Neshaminy 45, just like that. Clock running down to 8:33 to go.
Nothing over the top, Trish. Let's go. Let's go, D. Nothing over the top, Trish. 1st and 10 for Cheltenham. Watch the top.
On 1st and 10, this handoff goes to Eli Steeman, and he powers forward across the 40-yard line. Out to the 39, it's a pickup of 6 on 1st down. Well, the passing game has certainly been the story so far for Cheltenham, but the scouting report we got on them was that they've had a really tough time establishing any sort of rushing attack this season with a stable of backs. Seems like anybody that's gotten a touch, whether it be Jamal Butler, Eli Steeman, or James Smith, they've been all up to the task. They've looked real nice here in their 3rd game of the year.
Yeah, and I feel like they're getting positive yards on every touch. No matter who it is, they're really moving it forward and keeping the chains going.
2nd and 4. Back to the ground with Stamen. Runs into that left side of the defensive line. And he's out just shy of the 35. He's going to be about a half a yard short. And a player down for Neshaminy, that's Mark Ilkovic, one of the main staples on this defensive line. And the Neshaminy training staff out to tend to him. Look like they're stretching out his legs. So again, we don't want to speculate. However, that's a pretty clear sign of cramping, and he pops right back up. Got to stay hydrated on a night like tonight, Nick.
Yeah, you do. Drink your water, drink your Gatorade, Powerade, whatever you prefer. And in this environment, your high adrenaline is pumping, especially in a close game. You got to stay hydrated to keep your muscles loose.
I don't see you with a water bottle down there.
I got one.
Oh, you got one?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's underneath in my bag.
You're hiding it from me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to steal it. Don't worry. I've got my own.
Well, Brianne's got hands like an animal. She'll take it in a heartbeat when I'm not looking.
That's a good point. 3rd down and short. Call it 3rd and about a half a yard to go, and they hand it off inside, and that's an easy 1st down pickup for Cheltenham. Now it seems like on every play we're having some of these guys slow to get up. Now it's Corey Kenoy-Webb who's limping. Looks like he's going to stay in the game, and that's big for Neshaminy. Kenoy-Webb's filling in already for Lucas Stewart. Typically one of the main staples at the defensive end position. So 1st and 10 from the 34. Jackson had his first read taken away. Now throwing left, and it's low and incomplete in the direction of Asaya Upchurch. And Tristan Rivera was the one in coverage. We've seen it in spurts tonight, Nick. The Neshaminy secondary doing their job. We've seen it more here out of halftime.
They really have adjusted well in the 2nd half. I mean, still Jackson's trying to keep a lot of these drives live, and credit to him as well.
6:42 to go, 2nd down and 10. Jackson, handoff. That's James Smith. Not much doing on 2nd down. It's a short carry to the 32-yard line. And they give him 2 yards, maybe 3. They'll set up 3rd and 7.
And halfway through quarter number 4, this 3rd down has got to be the biggest one of the game. As many as there have been 3rd and longs, this is the biggest of the game.
Panthers have won the 3rd down battle at this point. Skins need another stop. Jackson with time, running out of it, being chased, and he's going to get brought down from behind. Corey Kenoy-Webb, he's a monster as a defensive end. And the Skins, we'll see if they get off the field here. You're kind of in no man's land. If you're Cheltenham, a punt would pin the Skins back deep. Or you can be risky and go for it on 4th down and try to extend this drive, but you risk giving up field position. Well, that right there is why Corey Kenoy Webb is up for the top junior high school football player in Bucks County.
Great pursuit by Kenoy Webb there. Really saved Neshaminy there. Jackson could have gotten a first down if he broke away from that tackle.
They're going to leave the offense out there here for 4th down and 9.
I think they're going to call a timeout. They're waiting for the play clock to go down, so they just killed off another 40 seconds there.
And typically that's a telltale sign that they're going to punt, in fact. So the clock runs down to 5:04. And we'll step aside real quick, back with the remainder of this game right after this on WBCB.
Are you living with relentless pain? St. Mary has a new way to help. Knee and hip replacements with a smarter process for faster recovery, earning prestigious awards for quality and value. A rapid recovery program has you walking just hours after surgery, and breakthrough advances such as custom-fit joints position you for a longer pain-free life. 215-710-5888. St. Mary Orthopedics. It's your health. Expect more. 1490 WBCB Levittown and Trenton, and video stream live at WBCBsports.com. Your home for the best local sports in Bucks and Mercer counties.
Well, we thought that the timeout on 4th down meant the punting unit was coming onto the field, but we were mistaken. Cheltenham going for it. 4th down and 9 from Neshaminy's 33. A potential game-altering play is what's on tap. Jackson drops, going deep, looking for the end zone. It is caught for the touchdown. Isaiah Upchurch, looking like Randy Moss as he hauls it in. 33 yards. And on 4th down and 9, Cheltenham delivers a gut punch and goes on top 32-21.
I mean, what can you say about Jackson tonight? Kendall Jackson, in a clutch moment of the game on 4th and 9, a 33-yard touchdown on the back corner of the end zone to Isaiah Upchurch. And again, Jordan, you put it perfectly, the gut punch to Neshaminy that put almost the end of the night, barring a miracle at this point.
Movement on the Cheltenham side, and that's going to be a false start. It'll back this PAT attempt up 5 yards. Wow, that just took the air out of this place, didn't it? 4th down and 9. The conservative and perhaps even the smart thing to do there would be to punt, pin Neshaminy back deep, make them drive the length of the field in 5 minutes and take the lead that way. Instead, Terrence Tolbert, in his first season as the Cheltenham head coach, he rolls the dice, and he came up with double sixes. St. John no, he missed it. Second missed PAT of the game for Andrew St. John. So the deficit is 11 with 4:56 to go. What a catch, by the way. Isaiah Upchurch, I mean, his man was right there. You can't have much better coverage than that. And he just went up there and took it off his helmet.
I couldn't tell who was in coverage for Neshaminy back there, but I couldn't see. I wish I was able to see a little bit better, so I apologize. But I don't know why you don't have your best corner, and maybe you did, in coverage on Upchurch on the 4th down play, knowing that they were going to try something like that play. You want your best corner in that position to battle for the ball, and Upchurch just made it a play on the ball. And Jackson, again, an incredible throw, and he's made amazing throws tonight at the right times and really put the Panthers on his back tonight. And you really see why, Jordan, he was one of the few quarterbacks in team history with 2,000 yards in a season.
Do actually want to make a correction. It was Carson Gideons with that touchdown catch.
Thank you.
Sassano splits 2, but can't go much further than that, out shy of the 20-yard line. But it just goes to show the wide receiver duo. We haven't seen Neshaminy or Cheltenham air the ball out all that often in this game.
Not deep like that.
Not deep like that, you're right. A lot of it's been these underneath routes, and I guess the thought process there is if it's intercepted, it's just as good as a punt.
Yeah.
But give credit to Carson Gideon's going up there and getting it. What is Neshaminy made of now? Bobby Wagler with the catch out to the 25. Got to go into your hurry-up offense. Can't waste any time. Clock down to 4:37, trailing by 11. Quick throw, it's high, it's incomplete. Wagler the intended target. Michael Eckert's just looked off for most of this night. Throws behind receivers, a little bit high sometimes. He's been a little one-dimensional, using his legs very well, but hasn't really gotten into a consistent rhythm in the passing game. Third and short, quick throw, swing route. There's Carter Klee. He splits two men and then gets ridden down across the 35, and that'll move the chains.
You could say this game was decided in a lot of different factors, but in the second half was that Neshaminy fourth and goal inside the 10-yard line when they turned it over. Could have got points out of that drive, and they end up with nothing.
Another quick throw. That's Nick Sassano spinning his way to the 43-yard line. Eventually, if you're in Neshaminy, you're thinking you're probably taking a shot down the field here at some point. Clock down to 3:53. You're down by 2 scores. Eventually, it might be time to force something. Second down and 4. Eckert for Sassano, and he's got it again. A flag comes in. It's going to be for a defensive pass interference, I would think.
He was getting held in the air for that play the whole way through and still made the adjustment to it.
A player down, that's Elijah Burnley. Down behind the play, one of the defensive linemen will step aside as they tend to him. 3:36 to go from Heartbreak Ridge. Neshaminy trailing by 11.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team Toyota makes a great choice for your next vehicle purchase or service. With our MVP pricing guarantee, teammate rewards program, and streamlined customer experience, our award-winning operation ensures that you can trust our process. A home team advantage is nothing without the community. Our employees are part of our family, part of your town, and we're all part of the team. We're always here for you at one of our 3 locations in Princeton, Langhorne, and Glen Mills.
1490 WBCB Levittown and Trenton, and video stream live at WBCBsports.com. Your home for the best local sports in Bucks and Mercer counties.
Burnley being helped off the field. Neshaminy first down and 10 from the 38. Down 32-21. Eckert going deep for Bobby Wagler. He makes the grab, but he's out of bounds. Man, from here it looked like he got that foot down inbounds. And all you need is the 1 foot. The officials, however, see it otherwise.
Great effort from Wagler there. Just a tough play to come up with on the way down to get that toe in.
Second and 10. They set up the screen. Brock Williams, he's got space. Williams tripped up and then the ball came out. Was he down though? Yes, he was. The officials immediately blow the play dead. And there's a break. And another player goes down for Cheltenham. That's McKee Farrell.
I actually think it's Simpson again. I could be wrong. I swear I thought 32. Well, nonetheless, Panthers are tackling Williams low all the time, and he's always flipping. And it's a smart, if you're a tackler, to go low to get a speedy pass catcher.
O'Farrell gets up under his own power, and it's another player down as well. We'll step aside here on WBCB.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Fred Herron. As your Bucks County Sheriff, it's my job to uphold the law and keep our community safe. That's what I've done every day for nearly 40 years in law enforcement. From the streets of Bensalem to the county courthouse, my focus has been on making our families feel secure in their homes, neighborhoods, and our schools. Safety requires proven leadership because in this office, experience is everything. This November, vote for our team so we can continue providing dependable leadership for our community. I'm your Sheriff, Fred Herron, and I approve this message.
Proceeding paid for by Herron for Sheriff.
So McKee Farrell and Isaiah Simpson were both down on that one. They both have since been tended to and are over on the sideline. 1st and 10 for Neshaminy. Operating from Cheltenham's 21. 3:13 to go, they trail by 11. Michael Eckert looking for the end zone, and it's incomplete. Underthrown ball that time in the direction of Mike Sassano, who was in search of the hat trick. He's already got 2 receiving touchdowns.
Yeah, if Eckert's able to put a little bit more air into that pass, I think Sassano would have made the adjustment and came down with it. And that would have been a huge touchdown in that situation. Neshaminy still got 3 timeouts in their back pocket. They've used the clock well in this drive.
2nd and 10. Eckert steps up, taking off, directing traffic. Michael Eckert down the sideline, stays in bounds, and finesses his way into the end zone for a touchdown. The Skins are not done quite yet. 2:54 to play, and it's a 32-27 ball game. And now, no question about it, you're going for 2 here, a chance to cut it to 3.
Great drive by Neshaminy. Eckert, a good run, good decision there by him. Found some space, got some blockers, and he won the race to the outside corner of the end zone, got it in for a Neshaminy touchdown.
Skins are 1 for 1 today on 2-point tries. Eckert rolling, throwing, end zone, and it is caught. Brock Williams got the foot down, and it's a 3-point game. I thought for sure when Eckert let that one fly that it was going to sail over the head of Williams. Credit to him climbing the ladder and bringing it down.
Yeah, right out of his hands, I thought it was going to be over his head. Yeah, again, Williams making an athletic play to go get the ball at point of contact. Able to get in 2-point conversion. Well, Jordan, I can't believe I'm saying this after we just pretty much almost declared the game over. And I guess we're coming in for a landing here. Final 3 minutes to go.
Well, the touchdown for Carson Gideons, it was a gut punch, but it wasn't a dagger to the heart.
And it shows Neshaminy's heartbeat still pulsing here at Heartbreak Ridge.
I'll tell you what, if the Skins are actually able to come back and win this game, Heartbreak Ridge would be living up to its name for Cheltenham.
And a lot of fans have left this game early after that last Cheltenham touchdown. And this is going to be a classic early season game. However this result ends up, it's been fun to be a part of tonight.
Discount this kickoff. We've already seen Cheltenham return 1 back for a touchdown. And it's an onside kick. Tried to surprise them a little. But there to field it was Isaiah Fields Keels. There's a name.
I get that decision, but you're only down 3 points. You pin them back with 2 minutes to go and all 3 timeouts. You're in good shape. Giving the Panthers half a field with what their passing game has been tonight is a questionable call in this position. If you're down maybe 6, okay, or even 8 or whatever, you're down 3 points. You just need your offense back on the field and a quick 3 and out here.
It also would hurt your offense if you are able to get the ball back because you'd be pinned back deeper.
Right,
if they were
I
to
get
punt.
that. Yeah.
Cheltenham looking to put the game away. James Smith, he gets the edge. He explodes. He's got a first down. Carrying tackler still somehow on his feet. What a tough run by Smith as Cheltenham looks to put this one on ice. All the way to the 25-yard line for a pickup of 26 yards.
And James Smith has been the man tonight for the Panthers on the ground. Kickoff return and just hard run after hard run, athletic play, one after the other.
Clock is running down to 2:34. Like you mentioned, Coach Felix has all 3 timeouts in his back pocket, so this game not over yet, but another first down. And you could just about hang the first win for Cheltenham up on the board. First and 10 at the 26-yard line. And a whistle and a timeout. And it was called by Cheltenham. Terrence Tolbert wants to make sure that his team has all of their T's crossed and their I's dotted. They're 2 minutes and 8 seconds away from pulling off what would be a very impressive upset. Neshaminy, their 2 wins coming over Emmaus, one of the top teams in the state, and then Council Rock North. You know they were juiced up to get back here at home. The fans, Nick Felix, of course, this being his first game as head coach at Heartbreak Ridge. And Cheltenham just over 2 minutes away from spoiling the party.
And you mentioned, Jordan, earlier in the broadcast tonight that Cheltenham was 0-5 last season in 1-score games. And tonight they're rewriting that script for themselves, in control of this game, as really the ending of this game is in their hands. But the Neshaminy defense on the other end trying to create one more turnover, change the tide.
The back is Eli Stamen for first down and 10. A first down could put this one on ice for good. Handoff Stamen up the middle, surging ahead. Again carrying tacklers. Man, these Cheltenham runners, they're not necessarily the biggest guys, but they're the mightiest right now. Oftentimes you'll hear coaches talk about they want to out-physical their opponent, especially when you're trying to pull an upset like this against a team that, quite frankly, is bigger, perhaps stronger as well, if you look at least the heights and weights. Cheltenham playing up to their size.
And just to make a modern-day comparison in pro sports, you look at all the runners tonight, they're just a bunch of Darren Sproles. I mean, those strong, short runners that'll just keep their legs moving. Powerful, quick, can jump from all points on the line of scrimmage, find a hole and cut in. They've done their damage all night.
So after this timeout, it'll be second down and 4. And if you're Cheltenham, right, of course you're going to continue to run the ball, but you got to feel real good about where you're at right now.
Well, too, on that other point, Jordan, I mean, yes, you expect them to run the ball, and they probably will on this play, but that's also where they're dangerous, and they can pull it back, and Jackson's going to hit one of his receivers over the middle or into the end zone. So you got to be careful. You're playing one safety right now, and you're really trying to stack the box here.
Second down, handoff. This time it's James Smith looking to flip fields. Smith gets brought down at the 20. It's a gain of about a yard. Neshaminy will use their second timeout with the game on the line after this play. We'll step aside. Third down, game on the line when we come back here on WBCB.
Tristan Rivera on the tackle.
Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs.
1490 WBCB Levittown and Trenton, and video stream live at WBCBsports.com. Your home for the best local sports in Bucks and Mercer counties.
Back from Heartbreak Ridge, 32-29. 1:47 left and a big 3rd and 3. Neshaminy's down to one timeout, so a first down would give Cheltenham their first win of the season and their first win in program history against Neshaminy. The give is to James White. He gets the edge. He's got the first down. He's got more than that. He's got a touchdown. The last touchdown was a gut punch, and this one may very well be the dagger. Cheltenham leads 38-29.
And what can you say about James Smith? He's done it on special teams and offensively tonight. Their Swiss Army knife. And of course, he delivers the final blow, the knockout punch here at Heartbreak Ridge, as Neshaminy's comeback will fall just short.
Give the Skins credit for battling back. Trailing this one 26-6 at one point. They were down 13 at the half. They've scored 23 points out of halftime. But Cheltenham, man, their offense, which had scored just 14 points last week against Central Bucks East. They've come into Heartbreak Ridge. They're an extra point away from putting up 39, and this one's going to be blocked, so they'll stay at 38. That's now 3 missed extra points for Cheltenham, but it remains a 2-possession game nonetheless.
I mean, credit to James Smith there, getting to the edge and the outside and just outpaced every Neshaminy defender, broke off a tackle and got to the corner of the end zone. Neshaminy, I don't know if they looked like they were ready. They knew that a run was coming. They just didn't know how it was going to be designed, and that's tough when just so many good runners on the Cheltenham team. And you know James Smith was going to make something happen like he has all night tonight.
St. John sends it away. Fielded by Nick Sassano. And he's brought down shy of the 30.
Nick Sassano on the return.
Really, Jordan, you've talked about it earlier in the broadcast, too, that Cheltenham has turned Neshaminy's mistakes earlier in the games and got 14 points off, and that's really the difference in the score right now, those 14 points.
First and 10, Eckert to the air for Bobby Lagler. And he quickly goes out of bounds with 1:30 on the clock.
Pass is complete. to Bobby Eckler.
Eckert back to the air, steps up. He's going to take off again, and not much running room for him across the 35 to the 36. Eckert on third down has it batted down. Kai Miller got his left hand up onto that football, and they'll bring up fourth.
Pass was incomplete.
Eckert just going to let it fly for Lagler down the sideline, no chance. And how about the Cheltenham Panthers? They were 0-2 coming into this one. They come on into Heartbreak Ridge, and they're going to pick up a 38-29 win to get into the victory column for the first time all season. Neshaminy will fall to 2-1, heading into what could be a signature matchup next week here at home against North Penn. Skins certainly with a lot to work on, especially defensively. But give credit to the Panthers. They showed no fear in a game that not many people expected them to win. They took the crowd out of it early. And while the Skins were able to mount a comeback that got these fans up off their feet, Cheltenham was able to sit them down time after time.
Yeah, if you're in Neshaminy, big game next week. You circle this game at the beginning of the season. Almost overlooking Cheltenham. You almost thinking a way it happens sometimes, not making an excuse for Neshaminy tonight. They battled all night tonight to get this game where it was compared to what it was earlier. But big showdown next week as they try to get back in the win column next week. And that's what you got to do. You got to turn the page, learn from tonight. And I'm sure they learned a lot of lessons that the coaching staff will look into this week and try to correct it for the big matchup next Friday night here at Heartbreak Ridge.
Panthers will take a couple of kneel downs. I'd like to thank our sponsors one more time: St. Mary Medical Center, McCaffrey Supermarket, the Revere Restaurant, Jennifer Shorn for DA, Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown, Rob's Automotive and Collision, BCW SA, Fred Herron for Sheriff, Sandy's Beef and Ale, Team Toyota, the Trentonian, PIAA District 1, the N Club, and the Irish Rover Station House, making portions of today's game possible. Well, for a team that started 0-2, this is certainly a win, you feel like, for Cheltenham that can help propel them the rest of the season. And the Skins are going to be left picking up the pieces after a tough 38-29 loss. They've got North Penn flying on in here next week. Man, the Panthers, they're real hyped up. They've got guys who are doing some flips out there. And why not? You just put up 38 points on a team that hadn't allowed anything for the first two games of this season. Panthers win it 38-29. Our player of the game interview, which you can find on our YouTube Shorts page, also on our Instagram page at WBCB_SN. Got to go with Carson Gideons. He had the big touchdown grab at the end of that one, helping seal the deal for Cheltenham. The Skins would strike back, but just too much Cheltenham Panthers for the Neshaminy Skins to handle here in their home opener. Panthers win it 38-29. One final time for the crew. Nick Gallagher, my color commentator, Brianne O'Deal. She produced today's stream. My name's Jordan Hirsch, saying thank you for watching and have a great night, everybody.
Bucks County, this is home. It's where I was raised, where I learned right from wrong, where I'm raising my family, and where I've spent my life fighting for justice. I've taken on the toughest fights against murderers, traffickers, and child predators who believed they could prey upon the innocent and walk free. I've proven them wrong. I have stood toe-to-toe with the worst among us. delivered justice, and made our communities safer. Because in Bucks County, law and order are not up for debate. And as your district attorney, I will never stop fighting to protect our families and uphold justice. Justice isn't just my job, it's a solemn promise. A promise that every family can sleep safely at night, that no victim will ever be forgotten, and that in Bucks County, crime has consequences. Under my watch, the law is not a suggestion, it's an unbreakable pact. Justice will be swift, it'll be certain, and it'll be served. I'm Jennifer Shorn, and I will never stop fighting for Bucks County. Our families, our safety, our home.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Fred Herron. As your Bucks County Sheriff, it's my job to uphold the law and keep our community safe. That's what I've done every day for nearly 40 years in law enforcement. From the streets of Bensalem to the county courthouse, my focus has been on making our families feel secure in their homes, neighborhoods, and our schools. Safety requires proven leadership because in this office, experience is everything. This November, vote for our team so we can continue providing dependable leadership for our community. I'm your Sheriff, Fred Herron, and I approve this message.
Proceeding paid for by Herron for Sheriff.
When it comes to plumbing, there's only one trusted name for your home or business. That's Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown. Whether it's drains, water heaters, faucets, or sewers, Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown can solve all of your plumbing problems. Time-tested and punctual since 1984. It's Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown. Call them at 215-943-1776. That's 215-943-1776 for Ben Franklin Plumbing of Levittown, a proud supporter of high school athletics in Bucks County.